Brian Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Jess, there's a new Pew Research poll that 95% of Republicans, but also 71% of Democrats like this idea. So why do you not?
It's Jim Crow 2.0. And I called it Jim Crow 2.0, and the right wing went nuts all over the internet. That's because they know it's true. What they're trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting. For instance, if you change, you're a woman who got married and changed your last name, you won't be able to show ID and you'll be discriminated against. If you can't find a birth certificate or a proper ID, you'll be discriminated against. This is vicious and nasty. And I said to our Republican colleagues, it will not pass the Senate. You will not get a single Democratic vote in the Senate. We're not reviving Jim Crow all over the country. And when the American people hear what exactly it is doing and what its intent is doing, they're going to be against it as well.
Well, it's interesting to see the Democrat Party finally against Jim Crow laws. Chuck Schumer, the leader of the minority in the Senate there, talking about the SAVE Act. And I'm excited to talk with Hans von Spakovsky in about 10 minutes from now, a little bit more than 10 minutes from now, about the SAVE Act and what it would mean for election integrity to implement the idea that you'd have to show proof of citizenship in order to cast your vote. It's already the law that you have to be a citizen to vote. Now we have the SAVE Act, which has a lot of attention and momentum in the Senate with the Republicans. And they, of course, are there saying that they're gonna try to make this happen. Leader Thune told some of those representatives that were looking to tie up a little bit of what was going on and trying to get the funding of the government taken care of with the vote that took place a couple days ago. And you had Congresswoman Luna there saying that they were going to, that they worked with Luna, or excuse me, that Luna and Burchett and others in their group worked with Senator Thune to make sure that the standing filibuster would be implemented when it came to the SAVE Act. And then we heard right after that a little bit of concern that maybe that wasn't exactly what was committed, or the possibility that Thune was backing away from his commitments to get those Republicans in the House to vote for the rules so they could go on and vote for the funding package. Here's Congressman Tim Burchett. I might add, since this is radio, without his Carhartt on because he's on the set of CNN.
There's a lot of bad actors out there. I trust what the president's saying. I know what he's saying. He wants to put good barriers in. An attorney told me one time, good fences make good neighbors, and I think we need some good fences in our election laws.
So if you listen to that, and you know that he's kind of
in this country,
a Southerner here, I just want you to understand that he says that we should put good barriers in, not bears. But I would, in fact, be in favor of both of those things from Congressman Burchett there. I like the way he says that. I love him. He's one of my favorite congressmen on the Hill right now because he's so unique. He's kind of his own thing. He's really, really funny on Twitter.
I know what he's saying. He wants to put good barriers in.
Good bears. That's what we're going to, if we can't get the SAVE Act, bears. What do you think? Yes? I guess some legislators would have a better shot than others in that scenario. So Hans von Spakovsky, who wrote the book on what the Democrats have done to the electoral system in order to win elections, things that they changed, COVID being a huge part of what was really affected in how our electoral system was carried out, namely in those mail-in ballots, the way we accept mail-in ballots. It's worthy of note that our Congressman, Mike Bost, right here across the river, a friend of the show, we talk to him regularly, is currently, he just recently in the last few weeks won a lawsuit in front of the Supreme Court that said that his case would have standing, that the length with which Illinois, the state of Illinois, will take in mail-in votes and count mail-in votes after Election Day, there's a little concern that can be raised. about that, enough so that the Supreme Court will hear why those representing Mike Bost and the voters of Illinois and the people running for election in Illinois, why they should feel maybe a little disenfranchised by a system that is not constitutional. We don't know how they're going to rule on that yet, but they've agreed to hear it. It's a huge step for Illinois election integrity, but we need to take a step further. So here's Vice President J.D. Vance talking about the SAVE Act with Megyn Kelly.
Election integrity here at
Yes.
home. There's a bill
Let's
right
get the
now.
SAVE Act.
Right.
Let's get the SAVE Act. No,
But what's going to happen with that?
Well, we're working very hard right now to get the Senate to approve it, because if the Senate approves it, we think the House would approve it too. Now, that would require, I think, some Republican senators who maybe they're a little too attached to the filibuster, maybe they're a little too attached to Senate procedure. This is about the integrity of American democracy. Like, do the people control who they elect, or do some shady people? It's like, who actually controls the people who cast the ballots or the people who count the ballots? We want the sovereignty to be with the people who cast the ballots, and that's why we have to get the SAVE Act passed. And you'll hear people say all the time, and I love this argument. They'll say, well, if you look at this precinct, only 3 illegal aliens voted in this election. Number one, that's 3 illegal aliens too many. And number two, if it's not a big problem, then why not just allow us to check ID and exercise some basic precautions to prevent illegal aliens from voting? I never quite understand the person who says, on the one hand, this never happens, and on the other hand, your effort to prevent it from happening is a threat to American democracy, which is fundamentally the Democrats' argument. By the way, it's like an 85-15 issue.
Yeah.
Most Democrats want voter ID because they want to protect their own vote.
But the elected leaders
But
don't want to vote for it.
the elected leaders don't, because they know that the more control they give to the people who are counting the ballots, as opposed to those who are casting the ballots, the more control they will have, because the
So
deep
what happened?
state
Is this where the
So the vice president speaking with Megyn Kelly there about the SAVE Act and why it may or may not pass if it were to be brought to the floor in the Senate. He thinks the House would support it. Better hurry. I also heard here, who was I listening to? I was listening to an interview, and they were talking about the House. There's a couple of special elections that are coming up right now that are supposed to give the Republicans another couple of seats in a little more of a buffer room. So right now it's just hold your breath time, but that Republican majority will triple, I think, here in the next few weeks when these special elections happen. You just have to ask yourself, with the SAVE Act, what is the hindrance? And when you listen to, I guess, the proverbial leader of the Democrat Party, Senator Schumer, they're talking about how, well, we would never vote for that. The Democrats would never vote for that. Why? Because it's Jim Crow. You remember actual Jim Crow Democrats? We want to talk about the history lesson there, the actual implementation of Jim Crow laws, because that was you guys. That was the left. The left was the political party that was working very, very hard to ensure that black people who are now freed in this country did not have equal access to polls. Jim Crow laws. This does not prohibit a black person any more than it prohibits a white person. It's the same rule for everybody. We're not like counting white people as whole people versus other people as lesser. Republicans don't do that. So what's the big idea? This is standard issue Democrat policy, which is to say, if you do this, it's racist. And we'll have nothing to do with racism. That's what the Democrats say. Well, I would say that a lot of the implementation of policy that the Democrats put into place is, in fact, belittling racism in the way that they manage expectations, with always putting the skin color as the first thing in the past that they would look at. But now it's broadened outside of just your race. Now the Democrats look at your sexual orientation, and they've made up an entire new area that they can delineate people by, which is all of the different genders that you can be. Well, still, the SAVE Act would treat all of those people the same. They would all be required in the same capacity to prove that they're citizens. And wouldn't you take a little bit of pride, American pride, patriotic pride, in saying, you're darn right I'm a citizen? The argument against going through this policy. And even if you listen to that clip that I played with Chuck Schumer earlier, that was from Ms. Now. That was the NBC News product going, hey, Senator Schumer, Minority Leader Schumer, this issue is hugely popular. And he goes back, we won't do that. That's racist. Well, how many people is he implying are also racist? 85% of the folks that support it? It's a majority of Democrats that support it. That's a majority of every iteration of demographic that supports showing voter ID. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Will the Democrats in the Senate stop the whole thing from happening? If the Republicans don't decide to do something with the filibuster, then, yeah, the Democrats will be able to stop it. So we shall see. We've got Hans von Spakovsky coming up here in a minute. Ryan, when you were out, Ethan did a Sports and Local, or maybe, no, I think it was his first Wiggins / Ethan's America on giving us a precursor for the Olympics, which was all of our first realization that the Olympics are here.
Having that realization now. I did not. When are they? Are they soon?
I think they're now.
Wait, they're now?
Tomorrow night is the opening
Soon.
ceremony.
What?
Now, yes, in
no,
Milan.
Seriously?
Yes.
Really?
You should go back and listen to the segment that you abandoned on Monday.
Well, I don't like listening to those.
Ethan came in and he goes, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the Olympics and just a precursor. We're like, okay, when are they? This week? Oh.
Wow.
Where are they? Milan. Yes. So the YouTube poll for today is, will you watch the Olympics? Yes or no, or not on purpose?
Oh, I'm all in now.
That's all you needed?
I just needed to be told when they are.
I think it's really ironic that the Olympics are starting and you wore your nation's colors.
What did I do? What's my nation's colors?
I don't know. Whatever colors those belong to.
It's just like black and flesh color.
I'm just going to say, Ryan's wearing the shirt that you wore that one time that people on the chat said looks like you're not wearing a shirt.
I know. I hate it when I wear this shirt.
But
people get on me about
he's
it.
wearing a black zip-up hoodie with this flesh-colored shirt underneath it, so it looks like he's just showing a little
It's
chesty.
salmon colored.
It's for the people.
And if you light it right, Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would pop better on the camera.
Did you wear that for the YouTube or did you wear that for Brad?
I wore it for me. And now it's for everybody, apparently, because everybody's getting a nice show with my low-cut sweater.
It's facing Brad.
All right, Brad, this
Don't
is for you,
remind
buddy.
me.
Can you zip it up a little bit more, please?
Yeah, I'm kind of coming up there.
All the way. Keep
Hans
going.
von Spakovsky, when we come back, might let you stick around and help me with this interview, Ryan, because
Oh,
I
I
know how
appreciate
much.
that.
I'm going to ask about Fulton County.
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
You're in?
I just said that like Macho Man, and I did not mean to.
I'm going to need one more vertical inch up on that zipper if you want to stay for Hans.
Okay, I'm in.
All right, up to his nose now. Hans von Spakovsky, election integrity, next. The Retirement Advisory Group. We've got an event coming up Tuesday, February 17th. That's a couple Tuesdays from right now. I'm going to be there. I hope you will be as well. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494 to reserve your spot. Bring a friend for free. This doesn't cost you anything. The event starts at 6:30. Tuesday, February 17th, folks. It's at the Doubletree in Chesterfield this time. New location. Pretty excited about that. It's right off 64 West in Chesterfield Parkway, and they're going to help you answer some questions that I know are nagging at you right now. You're real close to retirement. If you're 59 and a half or older, did you know you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free and create a worry-free retirement? Did you know that you can get a free personalized retirement income plan from the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group? It all starts here. I'll be there from 6 to 6:30, hopefully getting the opportunity to meet you. Mark and Mark will be there as well. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Wait, Corey from Air Comfort Service? What are you doing in my basement?
Standing behind our work.
It's 9 p.m.
At Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation, we take pride in our work. If you need heating service, no matter the time of day or night, we're here to help with 24/7 emergency service.
So you're just going to stand behind my furnace?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you hand me those paper towels then?
Absolutely. For heating service or HVAC maintenance, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy weight gain or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Hey, it's Mark Reardon from Michael's Bass. You've upgraded the kitchen, you've invested in your home, so why settle for a bathroom that still feels ordinary? At Michael's Bass, they create elevated bathroom spaces that blend luxury, comfort, and smart design, all tailored to the way you live. This isn't a temporary fix or a quick cover-up. It's a complete transformation, built to last and built to add value to your home. And now is the perfect time to plan for a spring installation. Visit michaelsbass.com or call 636-775-0800. Ask about financing options, including 0% interest. michaelsbass.com.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. That YouTube live chat poll. Will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? We want to know what you think. You can text us as well at 314-241-9797. I think it's really important that we do dip into this Nancy Guthrie case, as she is still missing. And the last time we dipped into the press conference here, we didn't get a whole lot of information. Ethan, will you pop up and listen to right now? Chris Danos, the Pima County as Arizona sheriff, is talking. Let's just peek in and hear what they're saying.
It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting. We do have a number of leads coming in. And that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this entire community, all of our law enforcement partners. Suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects, and I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet. The timeline, I think we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a timeline that we have been able to develop with some of the things that we've had processed. Various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites. And sometimes that stuff comes back to us, and like you, we have questions. And we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back, or it's sent somewhere else. So, and that's happening with all of the things we see. That process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home, and we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes. It is that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So it detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video. But we're not giving up on that. 2:28. Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy, discovers her missing, and at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort. I think with that, let me make sure. I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed, we know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car, the car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing with the vehicle. Uber, we did speak to a driver because Nancy, we learned, had been taken the Uber to the family residence, the daughter, for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. You guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it and examine things themselves, and more importantly, it's just we're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things.
You're listening to Pima County, Arizona Sheriff Chris Nanos, kind of clarifying some details there. For instance, I think he just said there that like the Ring cameras, they weren't ripped out or destroyed, and he goes, I don't even know where that came from. So a lot of media speculation has been going over and over and over again, maybe on facts that aren't actually facts. So getting some of the details there, they are still in hot pursuit to find Nancy Guthrie. The investigation, the FBI tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Pretty basic. So if you have any tips here in the St. Louis region, give the FBI a call. Nancy Guthrie, come home. We got to get her back home. I'm praying. I hope you're joining everybody else in prayers to bring her home safely to her family. All right, we're going to speak with Hans von Spakovsky a little bit later than expected, but we got him here, and we're going to discuss election integrity, Fulton County, Georgia, and the SAVE Act with the man, Hans von Spakovsky, next.
Or issues in the bedroom. Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
The YouTube live chat poll question of the day is, will you watch the Olympics? Did you know they were very soon? These are all news items to me. Will you watch the Olympics is the question, though. It is 12:30.
All of us learned the Olympics are this week from this show during this show.
Yes. Well, and for me, today, like a couple minutes ago. It is 12:31 now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Where common sense rules the mic. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
So there's a ton of conversation right now on Capitol Hill about the SAVE Act, which essentially requires people to confirm what is law, which is that you're a citizen when you vote, because we've got a lot of questions about elections, and we also happen to have a man who wrote the book on elections, Hans von Spakovsky, with us right now. Hans, thank you for spending some of your afternoon here with us. We appreciate it. There's so many different topics right now that I want to discuss with you regarding election integrity. Fulton County, Georgia, I want to start there and work our way to the SAVE Act. When you found out that the FBI and apparently Tulsi Gabbard around the corner was there in Fulton County, Georgia, what are your thoughts on that, and what have you gleaned from it?
Well, I wasn't surprised. A lot of people have forgotten, and Democrats are ignoring the fact that at the beginning of December, the lawyer for the Fulton County Election Board admitted at a state hearing that poll managers had not followed state law in signing and witnessing the receipts. These are the voting receipts that show how many people voted, who the votes were for, coming out of about 130 electronic voting machines in Fulton County, representing 315,000 votes.
Not the 11,000 that changed the entire Georgia outcome.
Right. So it's very clear that the FBI is investigating that. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean that those 315,000 votes were invalid. But when the poll managers, did not follow the state rules, they broke the chain of custody on those voting receipts. And I think that is kind of what they're looking at. Also, according to news reports, they got hold of voter rolls. Well, remember, the telephone call between the president and the Secretary of State, that infamous call. Remember, one of the things the president said was, or accused Georgia of, was allowing people who are not eligible to vote. Well, I suspect the FBI got the voter rolls so they can check, well, who voted in those particular precincts, and if they can check them against other databases like the DHS database, then were any aliens voting? If they check against the Social Security Administration death index, were any people who are dead? Did they vote? That's the kind of investigation I assume is going on. We haven't got a lot of details.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow, former FEC Commissioner as well, and former DOJ lawyer. Let me ask you a broad question, and I want to get your expertise and your intuition in your answer here. I think a lot of people are waiting for the other shoe to drop on the 2020 election. They want proof that Donald Trump really won because they've believed that this whole time that the election was, what's the word that's always used, rigged, and that Donald Trump's the actual victor. And then they see FBI agents on the ground in Fulton County, Georgia, and they think, this is when we're going to get it. We're going to finally find out that they cheated and that they stole the election from Donald Trump. Are we even in the ball game where that might be where this Fulton County investigation leads us? Are those things connected? And also, do you think that anybody will ever have the satisfaction of knowing for certain that Joe Biden won or Donald Trump won the 2020 election?
No, I look, I don't think if folks expect some huge reveal to come out of this investigation, I think they're going to be disappointed. Someone who's actually seen the search warrant, who I know down in Georgia, told me that the basis for the warrant that they got from a judge was over the cover-up. The cover-up being the fact that Fulton County for 4 years had denied that there were any kind of problems, and then suddenly in December they admit, oh, well, wait a minute, a group of our poll managers didn't actually follow state law, and it broke the chain of custody on these particular ballots and the vote totals. Are they ever going to be able to determine whether people who are ineligible to vote actually voted? I'm not sure the FBI has the capability of doing that. I don't think they can go through 315,000 names of eligible registered voters and figure out how many of them potentially were not eligible to vote. I just don't think they have the resources to do that.
Yeah.
Hans, this is Ryan. When the Fulton County raid happened at the election headquarters there in Fulton County, you kind of sat back and watched to see what the talking points would become, because as it's happening, you get news reports, but then you go, okay, well, what's the spin? And to me, what I've seen the Democrats spin out of this is, well, this is Trump trying to take over and rig the next election. And I can't quite connect the dots of how that works. And I'm wondering if you can, what are Democrats claiming that Trump is doing wrong here?
It's a ridiculous claim. How is looking at ballots cast in a prior election somehow going to rig the next election? I mean, they're grasping at straws when they say anything like that. And keep in mind that the federal government actually has a duty under the law, two different statutes, the National Voter Registration Act and the Help America Vote Act. Both of those laws require states to maintain accurate, current voter registration lists to take off people who become ineligible, and it's the Justice Department that's charged with enforcing that. So anyone who somehow says, oh, they're going beyond their powers or going beyond the law, no, actually, they're working to enforce the law.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us right now, the senior legal fellow with Advancing American Freedom, former FEC commissioner as well. I'm curious about, if we can pivot a little bit to the SAVE Act. I'd like to know what your understanding of the SAVE Act is. There's a bit of a legal hoop that will need to be jumped through in the Senate in order to get it to pass, likely with the filibuster. So if you could talk about the SAVE Act, if you believe it's necessary, so necessary that they may need to change the rules in order to get it passed.
SAVE Act is necessary. What the SAVE Act basically does is very simple. It amends the National Voter Registration Act to require states to get proof of citizenship from people who are registering to vote. Now, in a kind of bizarre twist, you've had state Democrat officials and Democrats say, oh, no, states' rights, federalism, you shouldn't be interfering with the state administration of elections. But in fact, what they're doing is fixing a problem. The National Voter Registration Act has been interpreted by the courts, I think erroneously, to tell states they can't require proof of citizenship. So in fact, what the SAVE Act is doing is fixing a problem caused by a prior federal statute. I think this is so important. Look, I don't think they should get rid of the filibuster in the Senate because at some point, maybe the next elections, Republicans may find themselves in the minority, and if they want to stop bad legislation, they're going to need a filibuster to do it. But I do think that Senator Rick Scott of Florida is correct. He says, let's bring up the SAVE Act and force Democrats to do an actual, real, standing filibuster. One where they can't just say, we're going to do a filibuster, and so it's never brought up. But they actually have to go to the floor of the Senate and talk to prevent a vote on the bill. Make them do that.
Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us. You know, I'm thinking to myself, it is already the law, correct? That you have to be a citizen to vote. You're not supposed to vote if you're not a citizen.
Right.
There are other instances where laws are implemented and then identification is required so that you can prove that you're within the law when you participate in whatever said thing is. Is there another correlation? Is there an analogy that exists already where implementing some sort of identification to prove that you are within the confines of the law that is set forth, where we welcome that? Or are there reasons to think that maybe this would be what Chuck Schumer says is Jim Crow 2.0?
That's a ridiculous claim. Look, that's the thing. That's the same thing they started saying about voter ID laws when they first started being put in 20 years ago. And that's proven to be untrue. People have easily been able to meet voter ID laws. About 2/3 of the states have those now. In fact, turnout's increased. But there's a exact parallel for this. Remember, federal public assistance programs, welfare, almost all of them require you to be what? A U.S. citizen. So if you're someone who's poor and you want to apply for welfare benefits subsidized by the feds, guess what you have to do? You have to prove you're a U.S. citizen. Well, if folks can do that, why can't they do the same in order to vote?
Hans, another kind of question along the lines of what's the opposition saying? Because as I'm seeing the SAVE Act come up, the same thing, Democrats are, and these are elected representatives, are saying, well, this is unconstitutional. You can't vote, you can't nationalize elections in this way. However, I look back to 2021, the Freedom to Vote Act from Chuck Schumer. They were trying to do a lot of this same kind of stuff, equal opposite side of the coin, of course. But are there constitutional questions with something like the SAVE Act?
Folks saying that we shouldn't nationalize elections, but the SAVE Act, like I said, there's two issues here. One, it's fixing a problem caused by a prior federal law, the National Voter Registration Act. But second, this involves aliens. And that takes you out of the election realm and into the fact that the Constitution gives who? Congress, the federal government, 100% authority over aliens, naturalization, and immigration. That's why, for example, there's a federal law that bans aliens from participating in American elections, not just federal elections, but also state and local elections. And that's why actually Congress, they've got the authority to require proof of citizenship to ensure that aliens aren't voting. That's not nationalization. That's well within the power of Congress when it comes to governing immigration and naturalization.
Hans, so what is the natural course of events here? I know that we've had a couple conversations with guests about the filibuster and what the standing filibuster might bring. Can you tell us real quick here, how long could a standing filibuster go on? Because I know there are some maneuvers where can't you like give the floor to your friend from, Idaho who comes and asks you a question or whatever. During that process, what does the person who is filibustering have to do? How long could a human filibuster a particular issue? Could they take it all the way to the midterms?
Try, but I don't think they would last. I mean, what's the average age of senators in the U.S. Senate? They're all pretty elderly. You're only allowed to speak twice on the Senate floor on a particular bill, and each time you get up and speak, you can speak as long as you can stay standing on the floor.
Standing.
You can't leave the floor. So yeah, they could stretch it out for quite a while, but all the way to the midterms, I don't think so.
Can they sit while they're
Not
speaking?
supposed to sit. No, they're standing up at the podium speaking.
Can they go potty? Can they go to the bathroom?
No, I don't think that's allowed either.
I mean, they're gonna go.
Well, can you wheel the podium around?
Yeah. Is it a roving floor? That'd be so funny. That'd be bad. And so if it happens, if they were able to do this, get rid of the filibuster, standing filibuster or whatever, and it were to pass, of course, the president would be eager to sign it. Do you anticipate, obviously, immediate challenges in court? Then it's in the system, and then it takes years for us to actually get a ruling? Or do you think it'd be something that would be addressed quite quickly?
I think this could be addressed quickly. I think the courts, even the Supreme Court, realize this is an election bill. It needs to be done quickly. But yeah, of course, there would be lawsuits filed, just the way lawsuits were filed to try to stop voter ID laws, almost all of which lost. The challenges all lost with voter ID laws being found to be constitutional. And I think the same would happen with a proof of citizenship requirement. Of course, then the problem would be the Justice Department would have to sue blue states like California and New York, who probably would refuse to comply with the law.
And Illinois, probably.
Mm-hmm. And Illinois, yes.
Is this the most consequential thing that this Republican-led Congress with the Republican White House, is this the most consequential thing they could do to secure our elections?
Right now, yes, it absolutely is. It's a very, very important bill. And it's vital that Republicans in the Senate make an effort to get it through.
Hans, we are so grateful to have access to your brain talking about election integrity. You are the man to do that with. Advancing American Freedom, Senior Legal Fellow. Thank you for being with us today. It's always great to speak with you and to see you. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm kind of pumped about that. I think, I mean, it'll be fun to cover a standing filibuster because it'll go for days.
I was very excited and surprised to see that they were actually talking about doing something with a filibuster. I thought there was a 0% chance that the old guard of the Republican senators would address that. I still don't think there's a high percentage chance, but there is a chance. They're talking about it now.
I think there's a high percentage chance that they move to the standing filibuster because it's wildly popular in a bipartisan way. Republicans super want it. Going into a midterm, if they don't get something like this done and people are going to the polls going, well, the people we got, they won't even get anything done. Why am I even going to bother? You want me to show up at the poll? You want me to show up and do my duty to come vote so that you guys can go there and be weak? I'm not doing that. Forget about it. That's what people in the Republican Party are going to do in the midterms if the majorities that were given to the Republican Party are not acted upon. Certainly the way the Democrats would. That's what I think. YouTube poll. Will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? Go vote. We'll be right back.
Union address, and I'm taking you with me. We'll have real-time reaction and the Mark Cox Morning Show live from the Fox News DC Bureau, February 24th and 25th, sponsored by Corel Roofing and Golden Oak Lending.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. Victim of a car accident? Not choosing the best lawyer will cost you. But here's the good news. Since you don't pay unless we win, you can afford the very best. Kaufman Townsley. Call 314-777-7777.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins! Follow up that Hans von Spakovsky segment with some quality radio, Ryan.
Okay, here you go. Apparently there are things you're not supposed to eat in the workplace because everybody gets real mad because it smells bad and they try to track you down. They talk behind your back.
I feel like you should feel attacked in this segment, but it's your segment, so
maybe there's some things we need to push back on. Maybe that's why we're doing this.
Are you passive-aggressively bringing your feelings onto the air?
I'm not. I'm just saying maybe. These are all hypotheticals about somebody else.
Okay. Brad's leaving, so.
Yeah, what the heck? Peace, bro. See ya.
He just left the room.
All right, this is from the New York Post. And
MTM says tuna.
Ultimately,
fish.
doggone it, yes, that's correct. That's in here.
Onions.
Is tuna bad if it's not cooked, like tuna salad?
No, I don't think. I think it has
Maybe
to be.
tuna salad might take on the smell of a little bit, but in close quarters.
Oh yeah,
I would not want to be. I don't know that I'd be wanting to smell your chicken salad. I'm the pickiest, but I'm not here during
most
people
of this
eating.
is people heating things up.
Okay,
but not entirely. This comes from etiquette expert and founder of Ostermont School of Etiquette and Protocol.
You sound like
Elizabeth Seuss.
Ostermont.
Who do you sound like? It's a Mike Myers character.
It's one of those Sprockets people.
Is it a Sprockets person?
It's or Hans and Franz.
Say now's the time when we dance.
Now's the time where we find out what smell is in your cuckoo.
Careful. Sounding inappropriate. Yeah. I thought about it. I'm like, no, I think that's fine, but it didn't sound good.
It's fine. And by the way, all of these things are fine. This is just an etiquette expert. Ooh.
MTM just followed up. I used to take tuna salad to work and got the stink eye.
See? What the heck is wrong with people? Eat your tuna salad. You're fine.
Do not eat your tuna salad. You are not fine, and neither are we.
Here's the first thing she mentions, though, that eating crunchy things, if people can hear you, is a problem. Eating things like carrots or crunchy vegetables.
That's what it sounds like in my ear if anybody within a mile is eating a carrot.
Golly.
I have a problem.
I know you do. I can't even eat my ice next to me.
Correct. And there are people listening right now who don't want you eating ice near a microphone either.
I wouldn't do it in the microphone. It's off air. I still can't do it. So eating crunchy things is inappropriate, according to an etiquette expert.
Because they're correct.
But the second category is not just making sounds when you eat. It's making smells when you bring in your food.
Making smells. I mean,
creating smells.
Is this pre or post lunch?
It says from opening the fridge to get your lunch out from a coworker's or to a coworker's reheated dinner from the night before. In the communal microwave, you have to be very aware of what you're heating up. Some foods to avoid in the office include, he said one of them, tuna. The other one, salmon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think fish in general is a no-no.
I don't like that because those of us who want to eat healthier and want to eat more fish.
You're not eating healthy fish.
I can't because my coworkers won't let me.
Right, and I think Swedish fish are fine.
Your health is not deteriorating because you can't eat your gross tuna at work.
You know what's not on
this?
this?
Papa John's every day.
Yeah, you know why? Because I tried to heat up a stuffed flounder one time.
Your annual supply of KFC is expired now.
That was 2 years ago. I got a Deerberg's day-old flounder stuffed with crab meat, and everybody freaked out because I was trying to eat healthy one day. And so I'm like, fine.
I'm sure
I'll
that
just
was
go back and
sure that was super healthy.
I'll just drip grease out of a burger into my mouth just like I used to, and I'll die early, all because you guys can't handle the smell. The other ones...
Burger smelled good, though.
There's other types of healthy food you can eat, my guy.
No, that's the only one that I like. There's egg...
Can't smell, and it can't make crunchy noises. That's like...
So grapes.
You can have an avocado. How's that?
Oh, boring. Egg-based meals. They say you can't heat those up.
Yeah.
Garlicky foods.
Mm-hmm.
Garlicky is, I think, a more universally appreciated scent, but it is pungent.
It is pungent.
You don't want to like walk around and think, do I smell like garlic?
I don't want to think that because I don't want other people to think that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the smell. I don't mind if people smell garlicky.
If people smell garlicky? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yes, you do.
It opens up the pores a little bit.
Oh, gosh.
It lets you breathe as a adult human male.
You're just saying words.
It's kind of true.
You're like the mainstream media for the last 15 years. I'm just going to say it and people will believe me.
Brussels sprouts is on the list.
Yeah.
Do those smell really bad?
They don't smell good. They're just like a very pungent.
Same thing, right?
I haven't said that word on the show ever until today twice.
See
But
if we
it's the
can keep
correct word.
Streak going. Cabbage and cauliflower.
Who?
Do you heat up cabbage?
What was the other word you said?
Cauliflower.
That's not what you said before.
Cauliflower.
You said cauliflower.
No, I didn't. I said cauliflower.
Run the tape.
Well, we will. Oh,
I do know
will.
that you said that word different every time you just repeated it, didn't he?
Yes, he hasn't said it's the same.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
And cabbage.
Gross.
And broccoli. Apparently, they all smell really bad.
Yeah, they do kind of. They're pungent.
And you know what people need to do? Get over it. And let people eat and enjoy their lives.
I'm not here when people are. I'm in the studio and then I'm out.
Apparently, you can't eat enough. You can't eat White Castle in the office anymore. Just found that out last week.
You can go back to your Papa John's. Everybody will be happy.
Yeah, everybody's happy.
Dr. Carrie Mendoza, the running mate for Ted Dabrowski, governor candidate in Illinois next.
Practice is the third leading cause of death in America. Don't believe it? Google it. And that doesn't count serious injuries like birth injuries to perfectly healthy children. All doctors wear white jackets, but it doesn't make them all the same. Most medical errors are committed by the same quacks over and over again. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Many hospitals looking for more profits are forcing doctors and their groups to be employees of the hospital or be forced out of their system. It's a troubling trend in medicine. People make mistakes, but medical mistakes are huge and often forever. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury or a misdiagnosis or mistake led to a loved one's death or injury, let our team of medical malpractice lawyers examine your case for free. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
I want you to consider a Lutheran education for your family member, your child, your grandchild, especially grandparents. I want to shout out to you because this is an opportunity where you can step in and provide something that is like, boy, you want to talk about an investment in your grandchild's future to help mom and dad make this choice, even if it's just like, why don't we go look at a school? 34 Lutheran elementary schools around the bi-state region. There are 4 high schools with a new one coming this fall, I think in Washington County. I implore you to give it a shot. In this world, like all of the different things that we cover every single day, to understand that at the foundation of all of this, your kids are being forged in a Christ-centered environment. It's priceless. It really is priceless. And folks like us here on the Annie Fry Show, with your help grow scholarships and provide tuition assistance through Lisa to make that education possible, more accessible for families just like yours. So give it a look. Go on the website, find a Lutheran school near you, go to an open house this weekend. LisaSTL.org/Annie.
Hi, it's Mark Cox inviting you to join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss capital of Bern and lovely Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Do the right thing. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That message from the FBI to anyone involved with the kidnapping of Savannah Guthrie's mom, Nancy, in Arizona.
This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a much worse scenario for you.
Special agent in charge, Heath Yonke, says it's now a joint investigation led by the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Office with a $50,000 reward. Nancy Guthrie was last seen by her family Saturday night, reported missing Sunday.
The blood on the porch, that was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet.
Sheriff Chris Nanos will not confirm or deny any evidence of forced entry. He did release a timeline showing a doorbell camera disconnecting shortly before 2 o'clock Sunday morning, and then software detecting a person on camera, but there's no video available. And shortly after that, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker app is disconnected from a phone.
We operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Several reported ransom notes have also been under investigation. The FBI says at least one is the work of an accused imposter trying to profit from the case. That person was arrested earlier today and is due before a judge. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posted a video telling whoever took their mom they're ready to talk and asking for proof of life. The FBI says any ransom decision would be up to the family. President Trump touting achievements defending his policies during a national prayer breakfast.
All of these good things I'm doing, including for religion, religion's back now hotter than ever before. I mean, I have to tell you.
Also announcing an event coming up on the National Mall in May. America is listening to Fox News.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at Vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Still on the cold side going through the afternoon, but our high temperatures are a little bit better. 39-40 should do it. Partly cloudy tonight, 33 Friday. Still looking good. Sunny skies on Friday and nice afternoon. 49-50. 27 Friday night. Got a cold front coming by. Saturday, 37 for the high. Sunday, the high 54. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Don't freeze as it gets colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, you know how much I love my home state of Illinois, and I prove that by staying there. And unfortunately, that's kind of a tall order, but it is home. And, you know, when I'm raising my 4 kids around their cousins and 4 grandparents, all within 15 minutes drive of my home, there's something we're fighting for. And I know there are a lot of Illinoisans who feel exactly the same way. Yes, it's a tall order. It's a big ask to live under the rule and reign of Governor J.B. Pritzker. But if you don't like it, you got to do what you got to do to fight back against it. And we have a candidate in studio with us here, the candidate for Illinois Lieutenant Governor, who is running alongside Ted Dabrowski, who's been in the studio with us. You can go to tedforillinois.com to learn more about this campaign. But I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Carrie Mendoza. Dr. Mendoza, thank you for being in here. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. What an honor. A lot of fun. Thank you.
It's great to get to know you a little bit. You're an emergency medicine physician. And now a politician. Have you ever done politics before?
Not really. I've never run for office, but I have been involved in trying to get change, through our school board during the COVID time. Also working nationally on trying to stop the transgender issue for minors. Mm-hmm. So I have done that, but, I've been practicing emergency medicine for 25 years.
Okay.
And so I have a lot of experience dealing with the bureaucracy of healthcare. I worked during the opioid epidemic. I've obviously worked during COVID.
Yeah.
Know a lot about the waste, fraud, and abuse and how we can do much better for our citizens in Illinois.
So let's just get to know you a little bit here. You're saying that you are a studied and practicing doctor, and you're wearing a shirt that says XXXY. Now, I know a Supreme Court justice that doesn't understand, couldn't define what a woman is. Right. There's some basic things, common sense things that we need to be able to agree on and move on in order to fix things like overburdened taxes or lack of law and order with rampant crime and prioritizing illegal aliens over the tax-paying citizens. Right. Are you in this for a particular policy reason, a restoration of common sense for the people of Illinois?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the issues Ted and I are running on, obviously crime, affordability, those are all super important. And I know Ted did a great job here when he was talking about those. But there's also the cultural issues. And like you said, just boys and girls sports, biologic reality, safety and healthcare in terms of just records that are being, messed up because boys are being cataloged as girls, leading to patient error. So all these are super important issues, and that's why, I'm running as well. And I'm proud to wear this shirt. I hope everyone goes to look at Jennifer Say's website, and support that.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And you walked in, I'm like, okay, I like her. I'm good. I know
Well,
something
did you show
about
the
you.
what I brought?
We got a
Okay.
couple other T-shirts here in the room. Dr. Carrie Mendoza is in here with us, the Illinois Lieutenant Governor candidate, the running mate of Ted Dabrowski, who's been in the studio in his run for governor, but been on this show for literally so many years, more than maybe anybody else. Ted Dabrowski through the Illinois Policy Institute would come on when I was doing just Saturday radio. And, man, he's the guy who knows the things to get us fiscally back in a responsible place. I'm thinking to myself, Dr. Carrie Mendoza, who's in here with us, I'm thinking myself about the people and why they leave Illinois and why people come to Illinois. One of the reasons people come to Illinois is because they're illegal immigrants, because we're a sanctuary state. We're, Chicago, of course, 67% of the population or something like that of the state, sanctuary city. And also people come here because we have abortion on demand. It is the abortion destination of the nation. And when I think to myself about the abortion issue, which is a big issue for conservatives in a primary, it's going to be a divider of people past the primary. And if social issues become the epicenter of picking and choosing people going into the primary, we're probably not going to be able to beat J.B. Pritzker. That's just as simple. I don't know at all what your thoughts are on these things, but these are the reasons people come to Illinois.
Yeah.
Why would you like to see people come to Illinois?
Well, obviously for, growth and prosperity and what we call ordered liberty, right? As we're, celebrating the 250th year of the Declaration of Independence, we want to reconnect with that, have Illinois be a growth place, a place of life, not...
Is that possible?
It is possible. I mean, come on, look where we were during the Biden years and look what President Trump has done, turned around.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, Indiana, the football team, Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
Not related, but same last name. But I mean, turnarounds are hugely possible. Absolutely, when we connect with ordered liberty and what our founding is about. Our country is amazing. People are amazing. Even in Illinois, it's hard, but there's still a lot of people that want to be part of a turnaround, and it absolutely can be done, no doubt.
Carrie,
Yes,
first time meeting you, of course.
Yeah.
We're all from Southern Illinois here in this room. What we hear the most off air, including on air too, I guess, is people going, yes, I love this. I love what you're talking about. Great pitch. I'm there for you.
Yeah.
But is anything going to happen? Are we going to win? How do you motivate those people? Because we hear from them, and they just want a reason to believe.
Totally. And us conservatives, we're great at, criticizing, going, oh my gosh, look at this is horrible. However, we need to be a lot better motivating and showing that we can put some W's on the board.
Yeah.
With things getting so extreme, if you get a change in leadership with Ted and myself, we can put W's on the board. First of all, let's just follow federal law with immigration. That can be done on day one.
Whoa, that's radical.
Whoa, yeah, right. Follow the Constitution. So
Radical
that can be
right wing wants to follow the Constitution.
That can be a W on day one. How about there's 51 or 52 lawsuits that our Attorney General has against the federal government? We can drop those on day one. There's another W. I guess 52 W's.
It's so funny because it's so practical. It's true.
Well, the fact that things have gotten so extreme, to really get the car out of the ditch, there are a lot of things we can do, but you have to have the moral courage and the backbone to do it. Ted 1,000% does. I do as well. I have fought for my patients every day. I fought against inappropriate prescribing during the opioid epidemic. I fought during COVID, where my kids at school had more restrictions than I did in the hospital practicing in the ER. I'm one of those Mama Bear school board moms. So I am here because this is an emergency, and I like I'm good and at fighting these emergencies and being strong. So it's completely doable, but people have to get out and vote, and early voting started. So, get out and vote. We can totally
early
put
voted
W's.
has started?
Yeah.
I know is it 40 days before every election? It starts today? Oh,
yeah.
Well, go early vote. And,
Yeah.
You're listening to the running mate for Ted Dabrowski. So this is the Ted Dabrowski, Dr. Carrie Mendoza ticket running for governor. I've loved everything I've heard coming out of your campaign from both Ted when he's been in studio with us and everything that I know from years of understanding his depth of knowledge on this issue. I'm going to read to you a comment from a listener right now. I'm honestly bored with Illinois being the butt of jokes. I want so much more for them. This is not even an Illinoisan. This is somebody who's listening right here where we're standing in Missouri right now. I mean, let's. You talked about the car being in the ditch.
Yeah.
What is the first step? Is acknowledging you have a problem.
Right.
We've done that.
Right.
But let's just for a second think about the car gets out of the ditch.
Yeah.
Where is Illinois' greatness that we could be pursuing right now that we aren't even considering because the car is so deeply planted in the ditch?
Yeah, well, just to carry that analogy, like it's in the ditch, we need to get it out, which we can, but then we want to be on the highway into the 21st century. I know we're in the 21st century, but a lot of our institutions are stuck in the 20th century, and they just don't work anymore. We're in a transition. The progressive era, shocking, it's over. However, the people running don't want it to be, the people in charge don't want it to be over, and they're not going to just go, oh, hey, yeah, we're wrong. These policies aren't working. We're just going to, give up our power. No. So we need to vote. We need to get on the highway get Illinois into the 21st century. I mean, we have 7 medical centers in Chicago that can just really be doing so much better, take the politics out of the medical training. There's medical students that are learning to treat patients as their identity groups. Well, we could be at the forefront of innovation also with rural health. I mean, incredibly beautiful here in Southern Illinois. We could be the top state for rural health excellence. I mean, the Trump administration just invested more money in rural health. But with the current administration, anything with the Trump administration, they say is terrible. We are missing opportunities, and we need to get on the highway into the 20th century and on with the states that are just doing incredible, like Florida and Texas.
Yeah, and I think, too, where we're situationally located here, Mississippi River, huge asset, but we're surrounded by all these other states that are competing. It's just so easy. As I'm an Illinois resident that works in the one of, 3 blue cities in Missouri. That's the one I decided to come over and find here in St. Louis. But I'm happy to. I pray for restoration for the city of St. Louis to have some greatness restored here as well. Let's talk about Southern Illinois a little bit more and talk about how the Dabrowski-Mendoza campaign gets this across the finish line in the primary to then take on J.B. Pritzker and his stack of cash, of his own cash that he can use against you and against, really, honestly, the people of the state of Illinois. How do you win?
I think there's so many people that are really just, let's call it on team sanity. Okay, it's not even Republican or Democrat, it's just team sanity. Things have gotten so extreme in Illinois, and Governor Pritzker, I don't think has ever said no to any radical ask. And I think it's just gone way, way too far. So there's just really a coalition of people out there. There are more people that voted for Trump in the last election than voted for Pritzker. So they're out there. I think we need to, do a great job connecting with the voters. Ted is an incredible candidate. And I think we really can convince them. I think once, in terms of the primary, I think, I voted for Bailey last time. I just think the performance in the last go-around just showed that he doesn't resonate as much up in the suburbs where I'm from. And you really have to draw in those people. And so Ted and
2/3 of the state.
Yeah, Ted and I really do. We live up there. We get it. Again, we've been part of the quote unquote counterculture or team sanity where we've engaged with the school boards and know a lot of the issues. So I just think people really want to win. And in order to beat Pritzker, you have to pick the team that can do that.
Yeah.
So I know we can do it.
I think that's well said. I've worked with Darren Bailey on a whole host of events and stuff over the course of years now, and he's got a passion and a heart for this state. But he did have an opportunity to give it a shot, and it seems as though they've tried to course correct in this campaign. But I don't know how much, their attention is certainly up north because that's where they felt like they had to right their wrongs. I think that people in this primary need to look at all of the candidates that are available, and they need to focus on after this primary. And when I see this group of people, this governor candidate and this lieutenant governor candidate, and I see J.B. Pritzker, who's got to fight? who could take the sanity and the common sense across the finish line, steal something there in the midterms? Nobody's going to expect it. You guys are going to be up against it, whoever wins the primary. But, I've been paying a lot of attention to Minnesota. We've got some grassroots reporters who come on the show from Minnesota, and they talk a lot like Illinois people. Like, we've known for a long time what's going on in Illinois. And now it's a national thing. There are a lot of people who are going to be looking, if you were to win this primary, to look at you guys and go, do I have to hate him? I don't have to hate him. I'll vote for him because I can't stand J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, we're in a transition period in our country from the 20th century model, post World War II, the 1960s radicals. We're at the end of the line with them, and we're in a transition. And I just think we have an incredible opportunity to join, the prosperity that President Trump has ushered in, the realignment, the reworking of institutions that just aren't working anymore and have been captured by radicals.
Yes.
For example, J.B. Pritzker just announced that, he's going to align with WHO on, pandemic issues. Well, that's insane.
And it's all political.
Of course. It's just insane because WHO got so much wrong, and the fact that President Trump disengaged is really, really important because WHO really doesn't serve our country, and they got so much wrong with the pandemic. So why would Illinois align with that? That's an institution that doesn't work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just an example, and I think all of that just resonates with most of the people in Illinois. It's like 80-20 issues, 90-10 issues.
Mm-hmm. That's completely accurate. Dr. Carrie Mendoza in studio with us, an emergency medicine physician, but also Illinois Lieutenant Governor candidate running with Ted Dabrowski. You need to go to tedforillinois.com, tedforillinois.com to learn more about this ticket. You guys don't have the lead in name recognition, but you absolutely, if you're listening to the show right now and you have a vote in the state of Illinois, you need to learn about this ticket. In my personal opinion of watching this, it's the Bailey camp or the Dabrowski camp that's going to win the primary. And if you're not paying attention and researching right now, after that primary is over, don't complain about whoever wins that primary. Get involved, participate. And last question before you let you go. Do you have the financial support to win? Because, obviously you're not going to have J.B. Pritzker money, which, yes, you're not going to have J.B. Pritzker money. Do you think you have the finances to win?
Absolutely. We did a great job fundraising in this initial period to have a great, ground game. Obviously, you'd always like to have more resources. But I think once we get past the primary and people really want Illinois to turn around. And so a lot of the wealthy people that have left Illinois, I think, really would contribute to our ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
And we need the grassroots donations to whomever is going to go up against J.B. Pritzker, which you can also learn more about at TED for Illinois. You've been listening to Dr. Carrie Mendoza in studio with us. Would you come back? We'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I love the shirt. Thank you for the shirt. I'm so
you
excited.
You are so welcome.
It's the Ted Dabrowski, Carrie Mendoza ticket, tedforillinois.com. Go learn about them. Whomever you choose to support in this primary, you better get active. It's not enough to just show up and vote. And I just discovered that today is the first day of mail-in voting. I'm surprised we waited this long. So get your ballot in and go vote as soon as possible. But just make sure you feel comfortable and confident that you've chosen the right person, the right horse in the race against J.B. Pritzker come November. Dr. Carrie Mendoza, thank you.
Thank you.
Come back again soon. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to speak with the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, Jason Smith, your congressman from Missouri, in about 10 minutes. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Here, Mark Patrick Hypnosis can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Hypnosis with great weight loss results. Mark Patrick Hypnosis will be in St. Louis on Saturday, March 7th.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing. I don't have any cravings. You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about dessert.
Only $59.99. Lose all the weight you want. 100% guaranteed. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis, 11 a.m. Registration, 10:30 a.m. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, I like her. I like Dr. Carrie Mendoza. I like that she's not a politician.
I know. It's nice to just be like, what do you think about this? And go, well, here's what I think.
I don't not like politicians. I know a lot of politicians, and I know them kind of behind the scenes or backstage or, off air. And there are a few politicians who I know and who I've met, and I'm like, okay. But when you meet somebody who gets into politics, there are different types of people who get into politics like all of a sudden. Donald Trump is one of them. You kind of look at someone and it's like they know things. They're in some sort of industry somewhere, and the industry is so abused by morons who don't know what they're doing. And I'd imagine the healthcare industry over the course of time that you would just be pulling your hair out. How many of you folks listening right now have in the last 10 years had a internal conflict with a medical provider that you have over the course of COVID, maybe a specialist that you see, maybe a pediatrician that you take your kids or your grandkids go to, where you're like, I think our philosophical differences here are affecting the care of myself or my child or my spouse. And then you have, once you start doubting that about a medical provider, how do you trust them for anything? I'm going to say this. Yeah. I'm going to put this out here right now, that if you're somebody who is one of those medical providers who have had people coming to you because they left a place because of ideological differences and now they come to you, I would like to know who you are. Like, message me on the Annie Fry Show Facebook. Or if you know of a provider, I would just like to know if there are people who are out there. I think did you put the clip of Chris Cuomo talking on PBD's?
Yeah,
was that yesterday?
Yep.
I'm going to I can do that right now. Smith is coming on at 35. Okay, he's a little bit later here. I'm going to find that clip from yesterday. Because we're living in like a alternate reality. If you compare where we were in 2020 during COVID, and then really it almost like 2020, everybody kind of just paused. We froze and we were just like looking around like, what do we do? The weirdness in the medical field really started to set in 2021, seeped into 2022, and then all of a sudden more people started parting ways. Like, I don't think that I'm going to allow my entire medical care to be dictated by politics. I think that might be medically irresponsible. And so we kind of started to see people go, left or right in the way that they managed their medical care. But I mean, there are so many different places where your thoughts and opinions on politics would very quickly interject itself in, like, whether you choose to vaccinate your children for polio versus COVID. Aren't those different decisions?
Oh, highly. Yeah, they're very, very different decisions. But you're right. That's the moment in time that we will forever look back to and go, there's politics and there's just money controlling these industries. They don't care as much about me as I thought they did. They do care a lot more about the bottom line than I thought they did.
Bottom line is a big point, because to the world, to all of us on the outside looking in, because we didn't go to medical school, we don't know what we're doing. You're trying to trust your medical provider. But then you go back and you find out that maybe there was a financial incentive to pushing COVID shots. Or what else?
Or many, many other things.
What else could you be prescribing here that is of a financial benefit to the provider over the fact that it's just really towards my medical benefit? I saw this the other day. This is Chris Cuomo on the Patrick Bet-David podcast, which is a gigantic podcast. If you haven't heard it before, PBD, listen to this.
I'll tell you something else that's going to get you a lot of hits. I am taking a, what do they call it? Like a regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin. Ivermectin was a boogeyman early on in COVID.
You couldn't talk about it.
That was wrong. We were given bad information about ivermectin. The real question is why? Everyone's going to say Joe Rogan was right. No, Joe Rogan was saying, yeah, he was right. But that's not what matters. What matters is the entire clinical community knew that ivermectin couldn't hurt you. They knew it, Patrick. I know they knew it. How do I know? Because now I'm doing nothing but talking to these clinicians who at the time were overwhelmed by COVID, and they weren't saying anything. Not that they were hiding anything, but it's cheap. It's not owned by anybody, and it's used as an antimicrobial, antiviral in all of these different ways, and has been for a long time.
For malaria for over almost 20 years.
Yeah. So, and my doctor, who is now my doctor, was using it during COVID on her family and on patients, and it was working for them. So they were wrong to play scared on that. Didn't know that at the time. Know it now. Admit it now. Reporting on it now. Because I think that's the job. The idea that, well, you were a vaccine proponent. Why wouldn't I have been a vaccine proponent? Now there are questions. Oh, no, but I knew at the time. No, you didn't. What you knew was that there were people telling you to be resistant to what the government was telling you to do.
So, there's a lot here with this clip. And this clip is from, I think, early May of 2024 when he was on with Patrick Bet-David. So think about that 2024 compared to where we are in February of 2026. Even hearing Chris Cuomo there talk like that makes me go, ooh, is he really going to say that out loud? Like, ivermectin is still a 4-letter word in a lot of cases. If you were to say, if you were to like some sort of, what is the blind date show where they have two people on partitions? What's that called?
Love Connection?
No, that's 2 and 2. I used to watch that with my grandma and grandpa. You want to talk about questionable things that children watched growing up? It was 10 p.m. after the news was over, and grandma and grandpa loved watching Love Connection, and we stayed over. We did too. And I think, like, there were some spicy details in there. I don't know. Whatever the single show is where you sit there, they sit on different partitions and they interview each other. Whatever.
American Gladiators.
Yes! No.
Also a late night show.
If you were to have a blind date show and the person who was being interviewed to see if that person wanted to go on a date with the main contestant or whatever. If they're just supposed to tell you some details about themselves. If the first thing they said was, I take ivermectin daily. You're going to the bank with that being that guy's got a red MAGA hat on.
Heck yeah, they do, and a flag in the front yard.
No, it's Chris Cuomo in 2024. And I mean, what he's saying there, when Chris Cuomo comes out and he's like, guys, it's cheap. There's no risk. And everybody knows there's no risk. In 2024, we're still not there. People don't believe that this type of stuff happens because something like that can't even be mainstreamed.
I love that he said it. It bothers me, though, that his conclusion at the end was like, oh, people are going to say Joe Rogan is like, yes, they're going to say he was right because he was critically thinking at the time.
He also says, like, why wouldn't I support vaccines? Of course I was going to support vaccines. And then he makes a comment about how, like, people were like, oh, you need to question the government. Hell yeah, you do.
Of course you do.
You're in the media, buddy. You're the guy. That's your voice. That's where you're the guy who gets to ask the questions and then have experts come on and prove the point. Make the case on one side or the other. Let them fight with one another instead of being the anchor of the show. And, like while you're broadcasting your show, just, pumping some iron. I don't know. I like Chris Cuomo a lot more than I used to. I do. I'm not going to lie about I want to listen to what Chris Cuomo has to say now more than I ever have because I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth before he says it. That's refreshing. Ivermectin is going to come out of his mouth because he takes daily. That's what he said in 2024. Congressman Jason Smith, the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee on the Annie Fry Show. Next. CiviaLaw.com. Todd Civia was in studio with us just the other day, and he was talking to us about some of the events that they have coming up. These are free seminars that you can attend. And when you go to a Civia Law seminar, you're going to learn the basics about estate planning. And the good thing about going to one of these things, it's free, it doesn't take forever, and you get to learn, some really important basic information. It's just like an hour long. So go to civialaw.com/events to find a seminar coming near you. They're on both sides of the river. The first 10 callers right now, though, to call 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL. The first 10 callers to call and mention my name are going to get your initial strategy session booked with Civia, and you're not going to have to pay for it. It's a $300 savings when you mention Annie. But you got to be one of the first 10 to call 833-995-WILL. For your estate planning and elder law needs, for real estate concerns that go into that trust that you might want to be funding, you need to make sure that you have powers of attorneys established, so on and so forth. Call Civia Law. 833-995-WILL, civialaw.com.
Most people spend decades saving for retirement, but few ever learn how to turn those savings into lasting income. And that's where Financial and Tax Architects comes in. They help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, minimize taxes, and retire with confidence. Now, they do a Retirement Planning 101 class, and it shows you exactly what others often miss: how to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k or IRA, and how to make smarter decisions about Social Security. Now, this is a one-night, 2.5-hour, no-cost educational event. Seats fill up fast. And at FTA, they like to say the financial peace of mind in retirement is all about income. Lose the job and keep the paycheck. That's exactly what FTA will help you do. So if you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, you can't afford to miss it. Call 314-888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com and reserve your seat now.
From Collinsville to Chesterfield, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've got such a busy show for you today, and I want to get right to our next guest, Chairman Jason Smith, the representative from Missouri's 8th District and the chairman, of course, of the House Ways and Means Committee, back with us. Chairman, thank you for being with us this afternoon. It's good to have you back on the show.
It's always great to be with you, Annie.
Thank you so much. I wanted to give you, when we were first talking with your office to try to get you on the show, the government was still in a shutdown purgatory phase. You've passed the bill that you needed to do to get it out of there. What do you feel about the accomplishment of the House? Were there some compromises involved in that? What's your assessment?
I'm glad that finally we have passed all 11 of the 12 appropriations bills. And they've been crafted according to the Trump administration's priorities and not under the Biden administration. So it's good to be able to reset those appropriations with the particular riders and different policy items. What I'm very concerned about, though, is that Homeland was only for 2 weeks. It's a continuing resolution for 2 weeks. I felt like that we needed to get agreement on Homeland before we allowed the other 5, but that's just me and strategy. I'm fearful that the Democrats will not fund Homeland and will hold out for some really, really ridiculous requests. By not funding Homeland, you're not funding the Coast Guard, you're not funding FEMA, you're not funding the Secret Service, you're not funding the TSA, so it's so much more than ICE. But if they don't fund Homeland, ICE has already been funded. We did that in the One Big Beautiful Bill for 4 years.
That was a smart move. That was a good move in the Big Beautiful Bill. So you've got the Democrats. You guys. I would assume the Republicans. You have something out there that could pass. The Democrats are just not going to support it. Correct? For a DHS.
Exactly. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
What kind of concessions have you made? Or what kind of agreements have been made, demands from the Democrats? Have the Republicans said, okay, we can work with you on this? Or is it right now completely everybody to their corners? There's no compromise being made.
Right now, there's a lot of discussion back and forth with leadership, whether it's the Senate and House leadership and the various, like Hakeem Jeffries or Chuck Schumer with Thune and Johnson. So there's nothing that's been agreed to. They're still negotiating. When it comes to Homeland funding?
So what are the Democrats' demands right now? If the Democrats got their way, what would Republicans have to give up?
Well, Schumer and Jeffries gave a list of 10 different demands that they sent a letter to the Speaker and Thune just in the last 24 hours. And the list is just a dream list. It's crazy. It includes removing Kristi Noem as Homeland Secretary as one of their 10 lists. I mean, these people are thinking that they are in control and that they're the majority. I'll tell you, this 60-vote filibuster thing over the United States Senate, it is something that a lot of people need to be looking at.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. We've asked several questions here on our show. We do that daily poll, and there's a lot of support from our audience, not in just completely nuking the whole filibuster, but the standing filibuster seems to be the leading point of interest from the folks here listening to the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk. What do you want to see happen in the Senate, certainly with the SAVE Act, potentially if the standing filibuster or whatever that maneuver is in the Senate is successful, they could get a lot more done. How do you want to see them maneuver trying to get over that 60-vote threshold to take the votes they need to take?
The way I look at it, if the Senate wants to maintain the filibuster and keep it up, whether it's for tradition or for whatever reasons, they need to earn it. They need to not just say, oh, I'll filibuster and then it's dead. No, you get up on your feet and you talk and talk and talk until your last breath. That's a filibuster, not just sitting on your chair and saying, no, I'm a no. Yeah. That doesn't work. And so that's why a standing filibuster, I think, is so important. Last night, the President of the United States sent me a video. And it was a video from YouTube that, in fact, was, if you've ever watched Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and it was Mr. Smith doing his filibuster on the floor. And the president sent that to me, and I think that gives you an idea of what he thinks the United States Senate needs to be doing.
Yeah, and even knowing that he would be willing to send that to Chairman Jason Smith shows me that he's a little flexible on his demands, because I think he would be fine if they just got rid of the whole thing and got to the people's business in the Senate without the filibuster being in place. Before we let you go, there's been a lot of work done through the Big Beautiful Bill that I want to highlight and give you an opportunity to talk about. There's one issue that is incredibly important to me. I'm an Illinois resident, of course. I'm always looking longingly westward where freedom happens in the state of Missouri. But the school choice element, the $1,700 donations, double that if you're filing jointly right now to help families acquire school choice, that in partnership with the Trump accounts that has been done. I see Republican-led leadership and those supporters in the House, the Senate, and of course the White House I finally see Republicans thinking about the future, and our future being our children. What else are we missing, and what do you want to highlight with these efforts that the Republicans have successfully gotten through?
There were so many things that we had in the one big, beautiful bill, the working families tax cuts. When we started out this process, I told the members of my committee, my fellow Republicans, I was like, this is our opportunity to have real conservative wins put on the board. Things Republicans have campaigned on for years that they've never delivered on. In the one big, beautiful bill, the school choice provision that we got signed into law, that's the first time in the history of America, first time ever at the federal level that you were able to pass any form of school choice. And we were able to put that in there. It was a priority of mine to get that in there. And it's the same way with expanding 529s. We had so many great pro-family provisions in there, whether it was expanding the child tax credit, the increasing the standard deduction, and then, of course, the popular ones you hear about: no tax on tips, overtime, no tax on Social Security, the Trump investment accounts. That was something we created. The first I ever talked to someone was 3 years ago of this idea, and I'm like, this sounds like an incredible idea, and it can be transformational for every child. And we were able to get it done. So a lot of things that will live on for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it. Someone has got 4 kids myself, including a 4-year-old. So a lot of times still with littles at home. It's refreshing, honestly, to see this kind of work being done for the future of our country. Last question before we let you go. The midterms are a hot topic for a lot of people. It's only going to get more so as the days and the minutes pass by. We've seen what the Republicans are trying to do to think of families and the future of this country. What happens if the House of Representatives goes to the Democrat majority come November?
Well, let's hope that never is the case. But if it did, they would do what they have been saying that they're going to do and what they've already attempted to do. They've already brought forth in articles of impeachment. They have forced a vote on impeachment in the minority. They have said it very clearly that if they would win the majority, they'll impeach the president, and they'll impeach him every week. Like, these people, they have no concept of delivering real policy wins for everyday Americans. They're more focused on their woke ideology and their liberal biases.
Yeah. And it'll just bring progress to a screeching halt. The people invested in the progress of this country and the families of this country. Clearly, the Republican Party, and we want you to keep fighting and representing those individuals, certainly in Missouri's 8th District, but the rest of us who are watching what you guys are doing and being grateful for it. Chairman Jason Smith, we thank you for your time. Please come back again soon. We love speaking with you.
Always great to be with you. Take care.
Have
a great weekend.
You as well. Bye-bye. Chairman Jason Smith, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, of course, as I just mentioned, Missouri's 8th District representative on X at Rep. Jason Smith. He's a good follow. He's in the know. He knows things. He also reports them. It's a good X account to follow. All right, let's take a quick break. You want to talk about affordability? Did you hear what PepsiCo is doing? PepsiCo is a big company. Pepsi is not just your Pepsi Zero Sugar, which is my favorite soda that I'm trying not to drink. I just try not to drink soda. But if I am drinking a soda, I want a Pepsi Zero Sugar. It's the best one out there. Well, they're lowering their prices by 15%. But I have a question as to why that is, and a theory that you might want to hear when we come back. Like I said, I love Pepsi. I love their soda. It's a junk food, right? Why is junk food becoming more affordable? I have an idea. We'll talk about it. Ryan's going to come back in studio. We'll discuss when we come back. We also want to know on the YouTube live chat poll and the live broadcast, are you going to watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? You can go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. And don't forget, stream us anywhere you go, anytime, in crystal clear connection on the Odyssey app. Go find 97.1 FM Talk and the Annie Fry Show and say hi to us there. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. I encourage you to reach out to Matt Hayes, good old American, born and raised company right here in the great state of Missouri. I think that when you meet Matt Hayes, you'll understand why his business has grown so much in the decades that he's been doing what he does. Now, foundation concerns are big concerns. Even if you've just noticed some sort of settling, the littlest difference there in the foundation, and you got a little worry about it. If you've discovered water, you're putting away the Christmas decorations, and you noticed, what's this? I mean, that's like turn your stomach kind of stuff when it comes to your home. What you fear, that pit in your stomach, is what you don't know. When you hire Matt Hayes, you're going to get that problem solved the correct way the first time. And if you've got a wet basement and you use Home Shield Foundation Repair for that waterproofing, lifetime warranty coming along with it, so that pit in your stomach, you don't have to worry about that anymore because you got the problem solved the right way the first time and the lifetime warranty to back it up. Invite him out to look at what you're dealing with. He can assess that situation for you and give you a solution. 314-271-9900, 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
4 distinct seasons, sometimes within a single day. Dave Murray's got you covered with Air Comfort Service heating and cooling weather. Every day on 97.1 FM Talk.
At Graybar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Graybar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Graybar does that.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
The question we're asking you today is very informative, but we also want to know what you think. Will you watch the Olympics? Because we're all just learning that the Olympics are happening. The YouTube live chat poll today. Will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? Let us know what you think. We'll give you the results in about an hour from right now before Mark Reardon takes over. 150, it is 150. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
Do they make songs like this anymore?
Yep.
Magic Moments, Perry Como?
Yeah, AI does it.
And it sounds like Perry Como.
Oh, yeah. It is Perry Como in the video.
No, you know, what's there all about the bass lady, Megan Trainor? She kind of sings like this. She's talking about her butt. But it's different Magic Moments. Her songs are really like kind of soda shop pop.
I guess so. I mean, I would have never thought when somebody said, is there a Perry Como of our time? Oh, yeah, it's Megan Trainor.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
It's the tone. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And it's nostalgic, and I like it.
Oh, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Perry Como.
It's all about the bass. Mom, what's that mean? The music.
Yeah, the bass.
The music.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Have you seen that PepsiCo is dropping prices?
No, I've not.
This would be good for you because it's on junk food.
I love junk food.
PepsiCo to slash prices on popular snacks after consumer backlash. That's what they're saying. So follow me here. Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, and Tostitos.
That's owned by Pepsi?
Yeah, I think they own, I don't know, they probably own this show.
They probably do.
They can.
We're sorry, overlords.
Oh, no. Call me. From Fox Business Report, PepsiCo said it will cut prices on its core brands by up to nearly 15% as soon as this week to address consumer backlash over recent price hikes. The snacks that will see prices lowered include products under its Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, and Tostitos brands just in time for your Super Bowl party. Comes with after the company received an influx of messages from upset consumers over the past year. I can't imagine being like, Doritos, you will sit and you will read my email. Would you do that?
I would assume that they would read everything that I would send, yes.
Okay. Food prices have remained elevated even as broader inflation has cooled. Grocery prices rose 2.4% on an annual basis in December 2025, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index, and have surged since the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so what affects pricing? Usually it's supply and demand. So the demand goes up, then the supply gets a little bit smaller, so they charge more for it. If the supply is overrunning the shelves and the demand isn't as high, they probably lower the prices, so it becomes more attractive for consumers to go, oh, that's a really good price on Doritos. I haven't had those for a while. I got to have them.
In theory, what you're saying is correct, but I think they have an unlimited supply of this junk.
Maybe more so right now than they have in the past. Let's visit NBCChicago.com. New SNAP eligibility rules take effect February 1st. Here's the major change. So Illinois, this is specific to Illinois and Chicago. Illinois SNAP recipient Kenny Robinson has been volunteering at the Bread of Life food pantry at Chosen Tabernacle Church in Englewood for almost 2 years. Robinson said he's been trying to find a full-time job for almost 15 years. It goes on to talk a little bit about his situation and his story. For some reason, if people are not able to meet the quota of 80 hours a month, they can get cut off. So we knew that they were going to implement, if you are able-bodied between the ages of, I believe, 18 and 64 with no dependents, you have to get a job to receive SNAP.
This guy has been, quote-unquote, trying to find a full-time job for 15 years.
He was released from prison in 2011 and says though he's had occasional odd jobs, he's faced numerous challenges in finding full-time employment. So that might be why he's struggling.
I'm sure that affects it.
You know what else is important here? So maybe less people accessing those SNAP funds, but also we're not spending money on junk food anymore.
Ooh.
So PepsiCo, this is a theory. I don't know. But what percentage of PepsiCo sales come from people who are using SNAP?
Oh, it's high.
And if it's high, is it possible that the price of goods over the amount of time where SNAP benefits have been spending and spending and spending, we've been giving and giving and giving, if those dollars are going to companies like PepsiCo to buy junk food, does that mean that if I'm not on SNAP, that my Doritos cost more because the demand is high, because that's what people are buying on food stamps? And if they can't access that any longer because it doesn't provide that, does PepsiCo now have a supply and demand incentive to lower the price so people buy it once again?
Annie, what you're describing is every other government propped up industry in the nation.
Healthcare, education. What else could we, like how many different things?
Upper education is one of the main ones.
Gasoline.
Yeah.
The way you fuel your car, why you have to pay certain things for your car, what your car is required to do that you have to pay for, that the government says you have to pay for. Man. I mean, this is what government does. Now, I'm not an economist, and I will ask an economist this question the next time Steve Moore is on the show, or if we get maybe a Fox Business guest on, I'd be curious to talk to him about this. But these are all things happening at the same time. Right before the Super Bowl, does PepsiCo want to drop prices because it's a news story and it reminds you just see a story? I'm talking to you about Doritos right now. I might have inadvertently just sold you on a bag of red Doritos because those are the best. Cool Ranch is
Cool
close
Ranch
tie.
is number one, sorry.
Oh, I don't know.
No, they are.
Is that part of the situation? I don't know. But I have to scratch my head and ask the question. All right, quick break. Go vote on the YouTube poll. Are you watching the Olympics? I don't think we are. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. Oh, gosh, I love Stewie because he helps people in such a profound way. I know, like, okay, Annie, mortgages, really? Yeah, that's like the biggest bill that I pay every month. What about you? Can you get a better deal on your mortgage? Can you put yourself in a stronger financial position because you've made the smart decision with your mortgage? Really, the answer to that question is on the other end of a phone call or a text message to Stewie. I have myself twice used the Bagel Loan to put myself in an incredible position with our mortgage on our home because both times I was able to lower the rate. The second time I did a cash out refinance with the Bagel Loan so I could replace the wobbly deck on the back of my house that's over a walkout basement. Danger, hazard ensued. Had to do it. Stewie made it possible. We couldn't have done it without Stewie. If you've got something like that in your future, remember the Bagel Loan is a new mortgage to you and you pay nothing to close that new mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
Mom home. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Pima County Sheriff making that plea as the search continues for Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, taken from her Arizona home last weekend. During a briefing today, investigators laying out about a 40-minute window from when a door camera was disconnected shortly before 2 a.m. Sunday to when Guthrie's pacemaker was disconnected from a phone app.
It was also significant when the sheriff was asked, do you believe Nancy Guthrie is still alive? He said, we operate from that standpoint. Obviously, we're fearful, he said, but we operate from the belief that she is out there and we want to bring her home. And then he was simply asked, any suspects?
At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect.
The sheriff said everybody remains a suspect. They're talking still to all the family members.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt in Tucson, the FBI announcing a $50,000 reward and the arrest of a ransom note imposter accused of trying to profit from the case. But other notes remain under investigation, including one with a deadline to meet demands later today. At the White House,
our hearts and our prayers are with Savannah and her entire family as they search for her dear mother.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt calling it a heartbreaking situation and reiterating the president's offer during a call with Savannah Guthrie yesterday for any additional federal resources that could help. President Trump renewing a call for a new, stronger nuclear pact with Russia instead of extending the current New START treaty, which is expiring today, which the president calls badly negotiated. He's previously suggested keeping limits on nuclear weapons, but possibly involving China. America is listening to Fox News.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
But I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
I hope you just soak it all in. I hope you win as many medals as possible, but most of all, I just hope you enjoy the experience. The whole country, Democrat, Republican, Independent, we're all rooting for you and we're cheering for you, and we know you're going to make us proud. So thank you all, and hope you guys have fun.
So you've got J.D. Vance there standing in front of Team USA at the Olympics, which Ethan did notify us at the beginning of the week that the Olympics are starting. I want to talk about this a little bit. That's our poll for today. Will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? I'm like imagining this is what will happen for me. I will be at a restaurant and bar, but not because I go to the bar, but because there's a bar at the restaurant. Those were the days. And the Olympics will be on, and I'll be sitting there waiting for my 2 for $25. And when it arrives, I will have then become invested in whatever is being aired on the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll start feeling, I'll watch a little bit more of that. I don't want to poo-poo on the Olympics. It's probably like, I mean, you can if you want to, certainly, but my interest level in the Olympics is almost near vacant. It's not something that I want to lean into. But when I see J.D. Vance standing in front of these normal people who have an incredible athletic talent, and they're not like the LeBron Jameses of the world who go to 3 games during the season and also the All-Star game. I mean, I just don't. These people aren't in my, very fast-paced, minute-by-minute daily life, so it's like, I don't have time to add that in. But I actually am really super proud of what they will be able to accomplish on the world stage.
I'll tell you the exact moment when I will get and always do get interested in the Olympics.
Curling.
Nope. Ski ballet. Nope. Just kidding. It's when all of a sudden I go, oh, China's barely leading, are they?
Oh, you just want to be China.
I just want to beat China. That's it. And I get very competitive from that moment on. I'm like, yeah, every medal counts, guys. Come on, let's get out there and do biathlon, mountain skiing.
Just so that we, show communism who's boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's when you bleed red, white, and blue. I do also have this fatigue that sets in before it even starts, because what are the stories that are going to come across if we're not watching it and consuming it? I always think it's like kind of ironic, funny when I will dip into, for instance, the Golden Globes. Good example. I watched 25 minutes of the Golden Globes. I feel like maybe Illinois was playing basketball and it got over and I just like, oh, what's this? I should check and see, just get the temperature of the room. And it was the podcast category. That's like all I saw was Amy Poehler win the podcast category. Joe Rogan not even mentioned. All of the different people who were listed there were like at the best center left. And by that, I mean apolitical. Mm-hmm. And you're just sitting here thinking like, there are a lot of podcasts out there that are not being represented here. Well, obviously Joe Rogan came out afterwards and was like, I wasn't paying them $500 to acknowledge what I already knew, that I was the #1 podcast. I don't need a Golden Globe. I'd rather keep my $500 because I know what the truth is. So there's kind of a ruse to it. So if you dip in, I'm just waiting. That's why I watched the Golden Globes. I just wanted to wait for the moment where they proved to me that this was a woke leftist, I'm not invited here, I'm not welcome here event. The Olympics aren't that, but there are people trying desperately to make them that. And as soon as that happens, I feel like I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this. As soon as you go try to politicize ballet skiing, is that what you said?
Ski ballet.
Ski ballet, I'm sorry. I don't know if everybody listening knows your history with ski ballet, but we could talk about that later.
Okay.
He keeps trying, but it's just not quite making the cut. That's where he was Monday, Tuesday, injured. I just don't want to give myself over. We talked about this, like fatigue of cheering for local sports even. Are they standing for the anthem? Are they sitting for the anthem? Did they put their hand over their heart? Did they have their hands behind their back? Did they take a knee? That was 10, 15 years ago. Consumed everything. Walking out of the tunnel, St. Louis Rams, hands up, don't shoot. Yeah, that didn't happen, but you walking out of the tunnel, making fools out of yourself, and basically saying screw you to the people who keep you safe in this city by doing something. Like, I'm giving you, if you go to a game, I'm giving you an obnoxious amount of my money to sit and watch you play a game. Let me have the emotional delusion of, like, this really matters for sport. But they throw all of that goodwill out the door when they try to make it political, because it's like, no, now you're actually talking about things that matter. And when you're injecting issues that do divide people, and, you might have very differing opinions on these things for valid reasons. But when I was here with my face painted and I have been, if it's like a playoff game or something, I've been waiting. I've had anxiety. Like, my blood pressure, my physical health response to this game that means so much has been affected by sport. And now you're like, how do you even live in America? How do you live with yourself? Right in a pregame interview, I'm just like, oh God, I can't. It's like, I can't have any. That's why we can't have nice things. And if I watch the Olympics and the Olympics end up being that, folks, I don't have time for it. I'm giving you of my time. I'm giving you of my energy. It has to be cared for with much more respect than it has been for the last 15 years. And the Olympics could be that. I don't know. I probably should have a better attitude about it.
I'll probably bring this critique up once per day over the next 2 weeks. So I'm just going to tell you that ahead of time.
Is this just about me, or is this about what we're talking about?
Well,
I was.
Well, I was. My critique of the Olympics is the same as it's been for the last 3 or 4 cycles of Olympics. It's probably longer than that, but that's when I started to realize, oh, this is all a game. Which technically it is because it's the Olympics.
It's the games with the capital G.
But at this point, every athlete of any sort of elite status at all, I don't know about when you get down to curling and stuff, maybe, but
get down to curling.
I mean, you get down.
It's so disrespectful.
The non
like on one knee
physical training,
peak male performance right there.
Sorry, obviously I'm losing you guys already. But my critique is that all of these athletes who have achieved almost anything in their sport for their country, they train here. So they basically live here. They train here. All the money is coming through here. The trainers are all from here. And then they go represent whatever nation for the Olympics in wherever it is that year. And it's like, this isn't really your version of your country competing in this event. This is you coming to America, and then all of us Americans here that some of them have different nationalities, but they basically live here on permanent visas, and they train here.
Not if Trump gets his hands on it.
Well, that's why I voted for him, Annie.
I kid. Well, for the Olympics, obviously. Because we got to beat China.
We got to beat China, and China's one of the few countries that still does have some training there, but a lot of them train here, too.
China does it like the old Soviet Union used
They train
to do
them
it.
real young over in China.
They're amateurs, but their job is to be that sport.
Yes, but even a lot of Chinese athletes train here, so that's not even 100% true either. And that's what drives me crazy, because it used to be your people, your nation. How did the Kenyan runners become so good at long distance running? That was always a really weird thing. Oh, it's because of carb loading. They did it differently. Well, now they all just do it the same.
What?
What? There's always.
You think Kenya wins races because they carb load?
That used to be the thing they always said. Oh yeah, Kenya, they carb loaded before we figured that out. So every nation had their own version of training for these events, and it was interesting to see their people, whether they succeeded or not. And now it's all here, and so it's all just homogenized. And it drives me crazy that we don't get credit for all these athletes when they basically live here.
Hold on, I'm Googling Kenya carb loading.
Yeah, please. Please do.
Kenyan runners, often regarded as the world's best, consume a diet exceptionally high in carbohydrates, with studies showing up to 76.5% of their daily calories come from carbs. Their typical diet includes large amounts of ugal, which is maize flour, rice, bread, potatoes, and sugary tea. So this whole time, you've just been trying to be super fast?
See? You didn't think I was sitting on a landmine there, did you?
I didn't know that.
Huh?
I didn't know. You've been sitting on a landmine or a gold mine?
I meant a gold mine, not a landmine.
HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. I'm going to do this here right while I talk to you about it. You can go to HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com, a wonderful new website where you can learn about all the different types of services that they offer. And folks, when you work with Home Shield Foundation Repair, you're working with the absolute best in the business. You can request your free inspection right there on the website at Home Shield Foundation Repairs. And when you learn about the different services that they offer, you're going to understand why people work towards Home Shield Foundation Repair very quickly. Once they find out about them, word of mouth is great. The reviews are great. And I can tell you from knowing him, Matt Hayes, he is running a really, really wonderful company with Home Shield Foundation Repair. For foundation repair needs, basement waterproofing, concrete lifting, piering, crawl space repair, you've got the right people when you call Home Shield Foundation Repair. 314-271-9900, HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Start the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. Available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com or at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meyer Grocery, or Wegmans.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
He's well read, but his hair isn't.
Whoa.
It's Ethan Hannaford.
Oh, hit that bell right.
Oh! Don't talk about my ginger that way.
Hey!
I did that for you.
How many people who have red or reddish hair, what percentage of those people do not like the term ginger?
Depends if they actually have real red hair.
Do you speak for them?
I speak for I speak for the those strawberry blonde folks out there. I can only speak for myself, but I can tell you how I feel when people categorize me into that category.
How long in
Terrible.
your life has the ginger word been near your existence?
Not that long. I would say like post high school.
Dang it. I was about to bust you.
Yeah.
I was going to say that the longevity of that is proof that you're a ginger.
Well, I grew up with very blonde hair, and it's slowly
can see
turned
that.
more red.
Your parents listen to this show?
Mm-hmm. But they're on a cruise right now, so they're not listening right now.
Somebody tell the Hannafords. Yeah, they could be on the Odyssey app. Absolutely. Somebody tell the Hannafords to send me baby Ethan pictures.
I can send you baby Ethan pictures.
I don't want the ones you pick. I want the ones that Mom wants to send. And I'm Facebook friends with her, so I could just ask her myself. What do you got?
What do I have?
Mostly
the St. Louis, the St. Louis Blues.
What else do you have?
Continue to embrace the tank, baby.
Embrace the tank.
They're embracing the tank. They are tanking for the number one pick, I think.
You think they're thinking that they're through that much?
I know. I'm thinking about it. Right now, they have the second highest odds at it. And last night, for the third time in 2 weeks, against the same team, the Dallas Stars, they lost in the final minute of the game.
Oh, my gosh.
They lost 5-4 last night. Goals scored with 23 seconds left by Jamie Benn, and the Blues lost. They have lost now 10 straight games on the road. 10 straight games on the road.
Is that a record yet?
I don't know. They had the win streak record last year. Maybe they will break a losing streak record this year. The Illinois Fighting Illini beat down last night against the in-state rivals. I don't really know if it is much of a rivalry at this point.
I think Northwestern has picked off some games from Illinois over the course of the years that Illinois, when they beat them, they really want to beat them just to try to make them forget that they have ever beat them before. But, I was trying to get some taxes and stuff prepared last night.
Fun.
During that game? No, not, because I'm getting tax appointment tonight. And I didn't even watch the game. Like, it was on, but it was not even close. Did they double them up? Close to it?
Almost.
80-44 or something
84-44.
Womp. I know that at halftime, I think it was like 40-13 or something. I'm like, this looks like a grade school basketball game.
Well, it was a beatdown. And the Illini just keep on rolling. St. Louis, once again, getting national recognition, but this time, it's in a good way.
Do tell.
Well, you said way more with that sentence than you may have intended. Go on.
4 nominations for the 2026 USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Award for Best Beer.
Okay, we can flex on beer a little bit.
Let's talk about our beer, shall we?
This is the show people. What? What's the matter with you?
I went to say yes, and it just kind of happened that way.
The yearly awards gather votes from the people with the best with the nominations picked by small panel.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah,
Can I interrupt?
Interrupt.
Everybody, for the rest, we've got 39 minutes left in the show. You need to know that approximately 20 minutes ago, Ryan Wiggins ate a fudge round.
Not all of it. I left the crust.
Oh, Lord. No, you didn't.
I did. Yes.
It's not the full crust.
There's some more.
What are
you're
you implying,
a quitter.
though, Annie? Are you implying something here?
Yeah, that this is sugar drunk, Ryan, and it will only get worse by the show's over.
It's a little true.
Beer.
St. Louis up for the best beer city category with 3 local beer establishments also nominated. 3 local beer institutions being Perennial on Lockwood for Best Brew Pub, Blue Jay Brewing Company for Best New Brewery, and Anheuser-Busch for Best Brewery Tour. USA Today's 10 Best Program highlights a bunch of destinations, businesses for food, drink, entertainment across the country. And St. Louis has popped up in the beer rankings apparently in the past. 2018 to 2020, they were number 1 for best beer scene, and in the years since, St. Louis has gotten number 2 for best beer city. That was in 21, 22, and 24. So it's time to reclaim the title. Go out and vote, people. The voting that matters right here.
The congressional, there's a congressional competition, and Senator Eric Schmidt talked to us about this one time when he was on with us, but he and Congressman Wesley Bell here from St. Louis won the beer competition. Schmidt and Bell bring home the cup an annual beer contest. So the two of them, Arch Light Lager, I think is what it says.
It's the kind of unity that we need right there.
It wouldn't hurt. But this is a report from rollcall.com. The lawmakers settled on Arch Light Lager for their winning brew. The naming process roughly mirrored political negotiations in the 119th Congress, a happy Republican and a Democrat pushing for more. Oh.
Rollcall.com. It sounds like a website Ryan would use for Wiggins America.
Real quick, Schmidt said they named their lager after the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, and the beer itself was created at Anheuser-Busch's St. Louis brewery. Bell argued their beer should have had a more playful name, like that of Congressman Rivas and Congresswoman Hageman from Wyoming, who named theirs Giddy Up and Peel Out.
That's cute. I should have a little more fun with it. Just
Hey,
play
can I
with
get
this
a
thing.
Giddy Up and Peel Out, please, over here? Make it 2.
Yeah, you say that once you're really drunk. Right, Ethan?
I was looking at you, waiting for you to say it. The biggest sporting event in the country is coming up this
The
Sunday.
Olympics!
Hmm.
Vote in the poll.
Nice. Good. But no. It is the Super Bowl. And with the Super Bowl comes what I would argue, experts say, is the biggest pet sporting event of the year as well.
Puppy Bowl.
It is the Puppy Bowl. And you would not believe some of the analysis that I found on St. Louis's connection to the 2026 Puppy Bowl.
Ryan, do you see this? This is what putting in the work looks like.
I'm not paying attention.
There are 5 puppies from St. Louis in
5?
this year's Puppy Bowl.
How many puppies total are there? I thought you put in the work.
I did put in a lot of work, but I don't know if I have that much work.
What is the age and
You
origin
can
of
just
these
lie.
puppies?
He's not going to do the work to check you.
100, 150? 150?
Oh.
150?
5 out of 150.
Ethan.
What?
Don't say 150. Say 150, Ryan.
150, Ryan.
There you go.
Thank
See?
you.
Thank
He
you,
believes you now.
Cronkite. Continue on the Puppy Bowl.
The names of the puppies that are going to be representing the Lou in this weekend's Puppy Bowl are Paris, who is coming from the Humane Society of Missouri. Cheesecake.
From Fenton.
Cheesecake. She's out of Christian County, Missouri. Boba. Anyone like Boba? You a Boba
Oh, I
fan,
love
Ian?
Boba.
Doesn't say where Boba's
Tea
out
or
of.
Fett?
Dog.
Boba dog.
Silas is out of St. Charles, and good old Betsy also out of St. Charles. So
Oh, Betsy.
we're pulling for Paris, Cheesecake, Boba, Silas, and Betsy
Okay.
in this weekend's Puppy Bowl, which
I have to
airs
ask-
at 1 o'clock
I have to ask a real question.
on Animal Planet.
What happens at the Puppy Bowl? Is it just
Nothing.
a dog competition?
They edit it highly, so it's not
really-
live.
It's
Do they
actually
play
really
like?
dumb.
Do they play football? What
They
do
just
do?
run around and they pretend like they're playing a game, but they're not. They're dogs. They don't even know.
Is it an actual dog competition?
No.
They're just dogs.
It's just puppies playing on a
That's
small
really
football
So
all
you're
it
saying we
is.
got a chance?
Oh, yeah. That's what we're saying.
Oh, gosh.
Key. Hold on a second. Let me interject here.
Yeah, please do.
Because I'm in an AI overview from Google. Key details for Puppy Bowl 2026. Date and time: Sunday, February 8th, obviously at 1 p.m. our time. Simulcast on Animal Planet, Discovery, TBS, True TV, HBO Max, and Discovery Plus.
Holy cow.
Special features: record-breaking 15 special needs dogs participating.
What?
And a new halftime show specifically for senior dogs.
Are you kidding me?
What is the
happy for
halftime?
them.
What's the halftime show?
Ethan, I'll be asking the questions here.
You have it in front of you.
150 plus puppies from 72 shelters, including pups from Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. It says so inclusive. Host pregame show features Dan Schachner and trainer Victoria Shade.
You got to watch out for that dog. It's got sleep apnea.
It's a pug.
You know your dog's laying in the corner going,
Uh-huh.
and then waiting for a while.
And then it has to sleep all day because it didn't sleep at night.
Yeah.
How's it supposed to get any football in?
But they're participating in the Puppy Bowl. This is so wonderful.
They've really equitized this.
The event continues its tradition of promoting pet adoption and showcasing shelter dogs with puppies from across U.S. and territories competing for the Lombardi Trophy.
Lombardi. I hate the Puppy Bowl, and you know why? It's not a sport.
Here we go.
They just film probably 30 hours of puppies in
Just playing in a little pen.
in a little pen that looks like a football stadium. Sometimes there's a ball. Other times they're just sort of sleeping in
Here's
there.
the AP News headline. This is from yesterday. Not just pups this time. Puppy Bowl embraces older dogs.
That's not.
So it's a lie.
Ugh. I hate it more now because it's DEI Puppy Bowl.
Ageist.
Here's what I really hate. I didn't even get to the point yet. The real
Really? Are you
reason
sure?
I hate
think
the
you made
Puppy
it.
Bowl is that you'll be watching it for a couple minutes, and then they'll just cut to the same exact room, same pin, and it'll just be different dogs. They don't explain anything. There's no game.
You have a lot of experience with
I've
the
never
Puppy Bowl,
been
Ryan.
interested in watching this, but I have to see it now.
That's what they do. I promise. You'll be watching. You go, oh, that's a cute moment, and then all of a sudden, it's just like splice cuts to nothing else. No other room. It's not. There's no announcers. They're not cutting away.
What happens if you put Bad Bunny in the middle of the Puppy
You
Bowl?
stole my question.
Oh.
That's why I asked about the halftime show. I've been sitting on that for 4 minutes.
Well, you wait too long, buddy. That's a good joke.
What were you going to
I
ask?
wanted to ask
Go
about
ahead,
Bad
do it.
Well, it's been stolen now.
But
I
you were
was
going to
ask
it.
about Bad Bunny performing at the Puppy Bowl.
You were going to connect Bunny
Who's
to
a good
Puppy.
bunny?
I was going to try. I was thinking of something.
So you still, if after 4 minutes, you still hadn't formulated
I
it.
was semi-confident, but sometimes you just got to rely on what comes out of the mouth. You know that better than
Oh, I
anyone.
do know that.
Oh, yeah, a little too much.
Get a fudge round in you.
Ethan, how'd I
Bad
do?
Bunny jokes that come right out.
Were you happy, though, with it?
It's fine. It's fine.
If I executed, it was kind of a brain stink here thing.
So it's fine. Whatever.
You did a
Whatever.
great job today.
Thanks.
You got a whole segment out of the Puppy Bowl. Who knew?
I know. I was kind of running thin today, so I'm glad we did.
All right. Annie, are you okay with Trisha in studio? Next on the Annie Fry Show. Don't go away.
Join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. There are cobblestone streets and postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps everywhere. We'll explore the Swiss capital of Bern and Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. Plus, we'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace and beautiful Mirabelle Gardens featured in The Sound of Music. Colette handles all the details, from flights to meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. Don't miss joining me. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or visit 971talk.com to learn more. The number again, 800-581-8942. Call today.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcast.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you're truly prepared? Sue Thomas here. And when it comes to retirement planning, keep in mind Financial and Tax Architects, FTA, has helped families all across St. Louis plan to retire with clarity and confidence. FTA specializes in creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, showing you how and when to claim Social Security, and building an income plan designed to last as long as you do. Now, they have a Retirement Planning 101 class. It is eye-opening. It's 2.5 hours. It's offered on campuses of colleges throughout the area. No cost or obligation, but you're going to learn how to avoid costly mistakes, reduce unnecessary taxes, and make your money work smarter in retirement. Call 314-888-5101 or visit fta-ria.com to reserve your seat today. Space fills quickly, so don't wait. Take that first step toward a more confident retirement.
Will you watch the Puppy Bowl is what we were
That
just
is
talking
not
about. That's what we were just talking about. But the YouTube live chat poll is, will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no.
Thank you for clarification.
Or not on purpose. Let us know. We'll give you the results of this poll.
The Olympics.
Yeah, on the Olympics. Will you watch the Olympics is the poll of the day. We'll give the results soon. It is 2:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Annie and crew.
Are you watching the Olympics?
You know what? I'm a little jazzed about it this year.
Did you know before, like, this week that they were happening?
No, I think I found out when you guys did. Was it yesterday?
I think it was Monday when Ethan reported on it when Ryan was out.
Yes.
That gave us a precursor. We were like, what?
Mm-hmm. That's when I learned about it, but I am kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the Olympics. I don't know if I'm going to clear my schedule, though. We'll see.
All right. Wild turkeys terrorize Wisconsin neighborhood.
Like the drink?
Nope, just the birds. This out of Janesville. There is a video of a flock of aggressive turkeys chasing a postal worker down the road.
Sweet.
And reports that they terrorized an 8-year-old.
Oh,
I know.
not sweet.
A Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources wildlife biologist said it's uncommon for turkeys to be aggressive and recommended residents take steps to make themselves appear larger.
Maybe the turkeys are just misunderstood.
Well, this guy says carry an umbrella. Officials said the birds might end up being relocated. Annie, are you okay with turkeys?
Alive?
Either way. Across the board.
I will eat turkey.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the turkey that the turkey came off of. That's a rule.
Will you eat its face? After cooked. Did you know?
Get the fudge round.
Did you know that a turkey can run, the exact same speed as a standard golf cart?
That's not science.
It is. We've tested it many times.
With or without the governor on the golf cart?
With the governor on.
Turkeys, I like wildlife. My husband's super into hunting and stuff. I don't think he's ever gone turkey hunting, but it's always fun to see a turkey out in the wild. Also, we have a ton of postal workers that listen to the show on their routes, because this is kind of the time where a lot of people are out doing that. So hello to all of our postal workers. Thank you for letting us keep you company. I do hope that you never, ever get chased by a turkey, but if you do, you should video it, and I hope you put it on the internet and make money.
Also,
send it to me. I'll share it.
Confirm
I'd like to see
the
it.
scientific stat that I just mentioned.
No.
I will tell you this. You don't see a turkey getting too high up in a tree. They can get up there a little bit, but not super high.
Why can hippopotamuses never be found when they're playing hide and seek?
Is this a fact or a joke?
It's a fact. What do you think?
I don't know. I guess they hide pretty well.
They're really good at it.
Do they cover themselves in mud and go underwater?
Because they're really good at it. No, they're in trees. You've never seen one.
Because they're really good at it is the punchline?
Yeah.
You
had to talk through the thing and just not even listen.
I don't think that was the joke.
To give the answer. What do you got?
Boxer Jarrell Miller's hairpiece pops off during fight.
I saw this.
Oh, I didn't see this.
In a bizarre moment that occurred Saturday night in a boxing match between heavyweights Jarrell Miller and Kingsley Eba in New York, the two were fighting in the second round of their bout when Miller took a punch that threw his head backwards, causing his hairpiece to pop up in the front. So he leaned into it, he ripped it off his head, threw it into the crowd.
Ew.
The boxer says...
If you ever get your hairpiece, Ryan,
I'm not getting that.
and a situation happens like Brad punches you in the face and pops off, do not throw it to me.
Annie, take it. Lean into it.
No.
Annie, hold this for a second.
No.
Me and Brad got some business we got to attend
Really
to.
specific.
Yeah, that was specific. If Brad ever punches you in the face,
Let's be honest, though,
and you're wearing a wig.
You think it's more likely that it's Ethan?
If that's ever going to
Yes.
happen, it's going to be when Annie's here.
Oh, yeah, and it'll be Annie.
I'm not punching you.
Yes, you will.
I would never punch you.
You're the most likely, though. For sure.
Well, what does that mean?
The boxer says he got the hairpiece 2 days prior to the fight after accidentally washing his hair with ammonia bleach instead of shampoo.
If the question is, do I believe a story? The answer is, hell no.
There's almost no way, right? Miller, if anybody was wondering, Miller won the fight via split decision and celebrated by rubbing
'cause he
his
was
head while dancing.
Distracted the guy he was fighting with his...
Look, it's common.
Topper.
A lot of times you reach for the dandruff shampoo and you grab ammonia bleach.
Is that what you did?
No, mine's just natural from DHT. But I reached accidentally and found a bottle of DHT one time, and I was like, oh, no, you got to be kidding me. Why did I keep this next to my shampoo?
Annie, are you okay with boxing?
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
It's a great way. Like, boxing is great for fitness. I used to do that a lot. I haven't had the time to do it for a while, but I don't want to watch it. I do not want to watch people fight each other. I have no problem with people doing it. I'm not going to watch it, but I do like to do it for fitness.
I'm like Annie. I don't like watching it. I like doing it.
Okay. Woman
It's like the Bible says.
Woman trapped inside Pennsylvania car wash for nearly an hour after system failure.
Oh, no.
A mechanical malfunction.
So one of those haunted car washes?
A mechanical malfunction at a waterworks car wash left a woman and her vehicle trapped inside the automated wash for about 45 minutes. Felicia Sullivan was inside when the system abruptly shut down.
Not by Felicia to her.
The doors closed and she was unable to exit. She documented the incident on TikTok, showing her attempts to press an emergency button that did not work and eventually calling police. Police showed up along with the car wash owner and helped free her in the vehicle. The car wash owner later apologized and provided her with a stack of gift cards.
I was going to say.
You can come back anytime.
Just make it worth my time.
Annie, are you okay with car washes?
Oh, yeah, I love them. I am a subscriber to Club Car Wash, but I'm open to offers.
You want them to court you?
Heck yeah, I do. I
send me your proposal.
Yes. You can tweet me at Annie Fry Show. You can message the Annie Fry Show on Facebook. I'll give you Ryan's phone number and just ask for me. We can do it that way, too. I love car washes, and when you become a subscriber to one, it's like so nice to have a clean car. If you don't have it, there's this like impediment. I don't know what I do know what it is. It's money. They're really expensive. But in our garage, we've been trying to put Charlie's car in the garage. It doesn't always happen. We have a 3-bay garage, but the third, it's like not a lot of space. His car's not that huge either. But if you're going in and out and, having the circus car unload that is my minivan, when the weather's like this and the roads are like this, there's junk all over the car. You're just getting it all over your clothes, all over your bags. So I try to go regularly, but I do need a lesser price. I just haven't, that ADD thing where you don't actually see through canceling a subscription. I need to do that. But Club Car Wash, I like it. It's just pretty pricey. Okay.
No, I was going to do a
opposed.
whole thing about, Dear Annie, we are the car wash of Valmeyer, and we'd love to have you. But I just didn't have anywhere to go
Sounder
with it.
played already.
Yeah.
Minute Maid cans of frozen orange juice concentrate discontinued.
Ooh.
Frozen juice concentrate, the product that put Minute Maid on the map, is being discontinued in North America by Coca-Cola. With the juice category growing strongly, we're focusing on products that better match what our customers want. Frozen products will be discontinued in Q1 with in-store inventory available while supplies last, a spokesperson for Coca-Cola told NBC. Several outlets pointed out that despite their slip from groundbreaking to antique, the frozen cans held a nostalgic charm for many. Annie, are you okay with orange juice?
With pulp.
No, thank you. I don't like the pulp.
Doesn't
How
like
about
you either.
I'll do the drink and you do the pulp. You know what I picture?
After you spit it out.
Yeah.
Strain it with your teeth.
You gotta filter it somehow.
No, I do like orange juice if it has pulp in it, but I don't really drink it that much. I usually just think of it more of a sugar bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't usually get it, but like if we're having breakfast and it's on the table, I might have, the juice glass, but like half of it. It's basically 2 sips just for the experience.
You're taking a juice shot.
I'm wild and I'll live my life the way I want to.
Okay.
With pulp.
And finally, Chicago's rat birth control pilot shows positive signs. Early results from the latest...
What?
Oh, pilot program.
Rat?
Not
birth control pilot.
Birth control pilot.
Yeah. Stop. Can you just one more time for the people in the back and me? Chicago. That makes
quote,
sense.
Rat birth control, end quote.
Rat birth control
pilot program is implied. Shows
Man, these
positive signs.
We're like, you can't have babies and you got to fly the planes.
Early results from the latest efforts to get Chicago off the list of America's rattiest cities suggest
Wouldn't it just be
might
easier
be
to say
paying off.
sterilization?
It would be, but I like picturing
It's so
getting
much
on
more
the
fun,
plane
though.
and looking into the cockpit and being like, "That guy,
That's a DEI hire
that
right there."
pilot is very hairy, has big front teeth."
This also
And it looks back at you with disdain, going,
Hey, he's chewing through the autopilot wire. Stop that.
"Focus."
This all started back in August when some neighbors in Lincoln Park were invited to pick up the latest innovation in eradicating rats, contraceptive pellets.
The band Lincoln Park?
Yes.
Or the band Rat.
The neighborhood. They've teamed up to sterilize the rats in Chicago.
Or the band Chicago.
An alderman says it's rat birth control, claiming that, quote, "I could eat it, it wouldn't harm me, but it makes rats sterile." The pilot program is set to run through the summer.
That's basically how Ryan profiles his food. I think we'll be fine. I've never seen something this red before. Let me taste it.
And it could be made more available for expansion after this. Annie, are you okay with Chicago?
The band of the city.
One more than the other. Yeah, I love Chicago. I'm dismayed by Chicago. It's really, I feel about Chicago the same way I feel about the state of Illinois. Like, what are you doing? Come on, you're better than this. Like, you could be better than this. And when I really think about, especially, I really liken it to Nashville and some of the other areas in the Midwest that have, Arkansas as a whole with Governor Sanders there. Like, there's just so much opportunity here in the state of Illinois, and Chicago's the third biggest city in the nation. Like, think about what we could do in this state, what kind of powerhouse we could have in this state if we had our act together. And, we determine where the act is together and just sprint in the opposite direction so far that we can't even see where actual prosperity exists anymore. But I know a lot of people want to separate around here, want to separate from Chicago. And I do understand the sentiment by that. It's A, not going to ever happen. And B, if we could get some common sense, huge if, like it may be an impossible if, but if we could get some common sense back in our elected positions, we would be unstoppable as a state with Chicago. So I'm not done on Chicago. I love it. I want it to be great. Again.
Maybe for the fourth
Exclamation
time.
point. Yeah, I don't know. You guys like Chicago?
I like 25 or 624, but other than that, not a huge fan.
Is that a song? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get it. I was going to make a Chicago joke before, but I'm like, I just know that they have
A lot of
horns. Yeah. Don't.
You were right there.
Okay. I
Okay.
guess we covered that.
I think we've done a good job in this
All right,
segment,
that-
everybody.
That's one way of looking at
That's
it.
officially all I have.
The YouTube poll for today, will you watch the Olympics? Yes, no, or not on purpose? Text us your thoughts. Ryan will feature those when we return. 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. And a reminder, it's been a packed show today. Really interesting, compelling guests on a whole variety of issues. Hans von Spakovsky on election integrity, Fulton County, Georgia, the SAVE Act, the filibuster. You can listen to Hans von Spakovsky's conversation with us on the Annie Fry Show podcast on the Odyssey app. Dr. Carrie Mendoza, the lieutenant governor candidate, along with her running mate, Ted Dabrowski, who's at the top of the ticket to try to take J.B. Pritzker out of screwing up the state of Illinois once and for all. Got to win that March primary first. So we got to hear Carrie Mendoza. And then, of course, Chairman Jason Smith about an hour ago. Poll results when we come back. Don't go away. AirComfortService.com. That's the website. Right now is a great time to be considering about the efficacy of the insulation in your home, because when that insulation, it kind of degrades over time. Of course, just like everything else. in your home. It compacts over time, so each year your home is a little less insulated. When was the last time that you even, if ever, have considered the insulation in your home and the value of getting that looked at and, really handled in a way where you can add insulation and basically security of your comfort zone? By doing so, Air Comfort Service can provide that service for you. It is Air Comfort Service heating, cooling, and insulation. And when you call 314-513-0091, you can invite them to your home to assess what you're looking at. Maybe this can be why you've been running your furnace more, your AC more than you ever have before. With proper attic insulation, you can reduce your energy bills up to 30%, eliminate hot or cold spots in your home, and reduce strain on your HVAC system. You can improve that overall comfort of your home. It just takes one phone call to Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
State of the Union address, and I'm taking you with me. We'll have real-time reaction and the Mark Cox Morning Show live from the Fox News D.C. Bureau, February 24th and 25th, sponsored by Corel Roofing and Golden Oak Lending.
Ever felt a nagging toothache or maybe a sensitive spot? It's frustrating, right? But don't let that worry hold you back. This is Dr. Michael A. White. I am dedicated to providing gentle, affordable dental care that puts your comfort first. Our experienced team and advanced technology will ensure a smooth, relaxing experience. It's just common sense. Don't hurt the patient. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
We depend on our roofs to keep us dry and protected year-round. That's why the roofing company you choose is so important. Mark Cox here for my friends at Corel Roofing Company. You can trust my friend Curtis Corel. And here's one thing he'll tell you right now, and it's his experience. A lot of roofing companies will try to install roofs when the temperature is below freezing. And here's what you need to know. Curtis has been praised by a lot of people in the industry because he will not install a roof on those cold days. He said that shingle manufacturers will deny warranty claims if that roof is installed on a sub 40 degree day. Did you know that? That's why honesty is important. If your insurance company has denied coverage for your roof, call Curtis at Corel Roofing. He loves working with insurance companies. He would be happy to get a second assessment from them. Call him at 314-222-9529. Tell him Mark Cox sent you. You can go online anytime at CorelRoofingCo.com.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. That YouTube live chat poll. Will you watch the Olympics in Milan, Italy? Yes, no, or not on purpose? We've got a few comments here on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. And Ender said, not on purpose. If it's on somewhere, I'll have my eye on it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Just holds no appeal for me anymore. Mike said, how can you not watch curling? Hard. Okay. I don't know what that means. Jackie said, oh, wait, no, that's about, what's that being starred there? That has nothing to do. Are you starring things about your
may
content?
have starred that one.
Brian, I just unstarted it. It's gone. I'm supposed to just be able to read through these.
I started for me.
This is like the most Anchorman thing that I do right here. And Ryan's just dropping notes in here so I'll say stupid things on air. Lori said, no, I haven't watched them in years. Only thing I used to watch was the gymnastics. I remember growing up, man. It was like Olympics were everything stops.
Oh, yeah.
You just consume it and you live by it and you talk about it. And it's just.
I think a big difference was back then, too. You only had it every 4 years. Now it's every 2 years.
And
so
it was all year.
Feel as special as it used to.
Do you remember year-round Olympics every 4 years? Either?
No, when was that?
In the 1800s.
1900s.
When would they have changed it? Like 92?
No, it was way after that.
Yeah.
I think this was
I know like
2000s. They
what was
changed it.
Nagano was 98 and that was split.
Do you think you're going to watch it?
Maybe that was the first one then. Yeah, I will. I'll watch it in passing. So I'm answering the poll not on purpose.
You're not opposed to it.
No, I don't hate it. And once, like I said, I genuinely, once the medal count starts going, and if China's close, I'm like, all right, it's time to beat you.
Right.
Is China better in the Winter or the Summer Olympics?
I think summer.
Brad, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I like the Winter Olympics. I like the Winter Olympics a lot more than I like the Summer Olympics because the sports are a lot more obscure and different. However, if they do something like they did this past summer with the offensive opening ceremony or something like that, that could turn me off and I'll just not turn it back on.
Last summer was the Olympics?
2024.
Not
Paris,
last summer.
The last
two summers.
Yeah.
Do you, Ethan? You're a big sports guy? Are you like completely absorbed by this, or?
No, not completely. I'll say this: I will be very hooked on ice hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Four Nations face-off a couple years ago. Got a lot of people excited for hockey, for pros to be back in the Olympics. So I'm very much so looking forward to that. Besides that, it'll be similar to Ryan, kind of just in passing. If there's nothing else on, then I'll probably turn it on.
Are they all on NBC like main channel, or is everything offloaded onto some like NBC sports channel?
So I know that in prime time they will. What I believe that they are going to do is they will, because obviously there's a massive time difference. The most notable,
7 hours, maybe?
The most notable things that occur throughout the day, I believe, the biggest competitions, whatever, they will be replayed in prime time, I believe. But you
so then you can already know what the what happened.
There will still be you'll still be able to go and watch some of them live. I'm not sure how much that will be on main NBC channel, but NBC has so many different channels. I know that you'll be able to watch a lot of them live on Peacock.
I want to read this note here, this on a separate issue before we get to the YouTube live chat poll results here. So, Ryan, you said on the poll you're not on purpose?
Not on purpose.
Brad, you're a yes?
I'm a yes.
Ethan, you're a yes?
Yes.
And I'm right now a not on purpose, but I'm open to yes, especially if my kids get into it. Before we get to the results, Carolyn Levitt posted a little bit earlier today. Tonight at 7 p.m., probably 6 p.m. our time, President Trump, Dr. Oz, and National Design Studio Director Joe Gebbia, I hope I'm saying that right, will be officially unveiling Trump RX, a state-of-the-art website for American consumers to purchase low-cost prescription drugs. This historic announcement will save millions of Americans money. You won't want to miss it. Tune in. I just retweeted that at Annie Fry Show. If you want to be connected to Carolyn Levitt's post there, I'm kind of curious about that. I wonder if that's, these things, they make these announcements and they always feel like, to me, it always feels like it's for other people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's not really for me, but that'll probably benefit someone. This should benefit a lot of people.
I hope so.
I hope so. So I'll tune in for that tonight. Want to get the results?
210 votes. Just had the 210th vote just a second ago. Will you watch the Olympics? That is the YouTube live chat poll for today. 23% say that they will not on purpose. 30% say they're just not going to at all. And 46% say yes, they will be watching the Winter Olympics.
Well, I guess we can report on it then. I was going to kind of use this as a barometer for how much we talk about it. But if it's something out there that 76% of folks out there are open to or actively watching, let's kick China's butt.
Yeah.
Right?
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
America all the way. America's the best, you guys.
USA.
We can show it these next 2 weeks by watching the Olympics.
Keep it right here, The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk. Next, don't go away.
Sponsored by Ethos.
Parents want to help their kids regardless of age.
Because it's hard for parents or even grandparents to say no.
Financial planner Ed Jertson says that monetary support could turn toxic for parents and adult children alike. While some adult children have a real financial need due to job loss or unexpected expenses,
others we found were just trying to keep up with their lifestyle spending. So this is kind of the key.
I'm Rob Hart.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers.